relatively interesting. Hello and welcome everyone from the recording. We're doing scenario 20 today as our last scenario in this campaign. We're just discussing, we have 224 gold for the Cragheart, and we're discussing what to enhance. And basically we have 3 cards enhanced already and we're prosperity 3, so we have to enhance a card we already have enhanced. We can't enhance the Heaving Swing at all. The only enhancement we could do in really advanced would be +1 range, which is really weak. So basically we're looking at blunt force. I'm explaining why enhancing, enhancing losses is generally bad. And non-persistent losses is generally bad because you're only going to get that ability one time per scenario. Whereas a non-loss, you're going to get like whatever the enhancement was many times. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions to this, but for the most part, this is true. And this is a loss which was good at level 3, but not so good at level 9. The bottom is also really good. We don't want to give it up by playing the top, etc. So there's just really no reason to do this enhancement. So basically leaves us with putting something on this dot here as our best enhancement. Any element would really be the dream, but we definitely can't afford that. So this is a level 3 card. So it's 50 gold base, plus... Oh my god, are we really... Are we 1 gold off? Oh no! Disaster! We are 1 gold off from putting Earth. So we sell something? I think that's gotta be the answer. Right? Because it's 50 gold for a level 3 card, plus 75 gold for an already enhanced card. So that puts us at 125. And then 1 element would be 100 gold. So this would be 225. We have 224 gold. Oh man, that is brutal. All right, so we're definitely, we're gonna make up that difference. That would be insane not to, because that's definitely a much better. No, we have the Tremor Blade. Earth is quite good for us. We don't use it half of the time. Huh. Because we could not sell on. We wouldn't have to sell anything if we put +1 movement, but I don't know that 2 movement and 3 movement. 3 movement is better, but an element is just such a better enhancement. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So in that case, I guess we're just going to downgrade our major healing to a minor healing, which is a pretty significant downgrade. The 2 extra healing was significant, certainly in the last scenario we played. I think that makes more sense than any of these other cards. All of them are quite good for us. Yeah, I don't want to risk losing the Iron Helmet. All right, so we're going to sell this, which gives us 15 gold. We're going to buy a minor healing potion, which costs us 9 gold. We net 6. We spend 225, so we're left with 5 gold in the end. I'm not going to take all this down. We're just going to have actual 5 gold. Again, this is our last scenario with this campaign. And we get to put Earth here. Okay. Neat. Alright, so here we can look at items as well. We've got 7 small items with our Cloak of Pockets. We can replace 1 small item. I think pretty obvious choice for item to replace it. Thus far the Moon Earring has not been very good for me. It's a little bit awkward how you can't... You have to preemptively use the Moon Earring to refresh the boots. But I don't think the Minor Healing Potion... I think the Minor Healing Potion is worse than the Earring, for sure. So let's just sell the Minor Healing Potion. Take the Major. I definitely want Major and Minor. Again, with our Call of the Nether. This adds... here. So with Call of the Nether, typically hitting 3 to 4 targets. If we hit 4 targets with it, which is realistic, I would say once per scenario, we can, having both of these, you're looking at 12 damage, pretty significant, 12 attack. And, even on, sort of the more mediocre case, still adding 9 damage, so... this, I guess, just adding 3. So it's the comparison of adding 3 to 4 damage versus 3 to 4 healing. And this is relatively close, to be honest, because the healing can also remove conditions. But I think I prefer this. Green healing, not the most exceptional, although we do have some difficulty healing ourselves. We've now got the regenerate on fire to occasionally draw, and we've got more deck stacking now that we're playing with Men of Destiny. Okay, so we sold that, which gave us 5 gold. I don't think I added that just yet. We got 163 gold, but first we need to figure out which cards we're actually going to bring. So I'm going to cut Ethereal Vortex. Not, again, because I think it's optimal, but just because I want to test the other level 7 card, Curative Flux. This is a heal 3, self, and all allies. So yeah, we should be fine on healing now. We're playing with Hand of Destiny. Again, we've kind of already established that our level 2 choice we're just happy with, and our level 3 choice... So we actually have Envision, but I don't think we want to bring it, again, because Hand of Destiny just pretty much obsoletes Envision. So then the question would be, should we take Pure... we could take Preordain over... Hello, Anchorus. Big fan of your content. Thank you so much for all your work. Most of the time watching your videos on YouTube. May I ask when the next scenarios for the Diviner campaign will be online there? I will do my best to get it all uploaded before I leave, which is in 2 weeks. So, well, realistically, I will. Alright, I'll go through and try to get it all uploaded within a week. Because in 2 weeks I'm gone, and at that point it's going to be much more complicated. So, yeah. I'll try to get the campaign up till now, all the recordings up within a week. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying them, and I'm sorry that I haven't been so prompt with getting them up. It's just a really busy time for me, and I've been even more irresponsible than normal. So, I mean, like, we could swap out Envision with Priority in the Path, but we're not going to bring Priority in the Path. I mean, we have this level 8 one. I mean, to be honest, I actually would have loved to have the top of Priority in the Path in the last scenario, but this isn't that type of scenario. And the bottom, again, we have a better version of the bottom with Deep Contemplation for the most part, and it hasn't been very good. Alright, so we're keeping Fount at 2. We're keeping Call of Another at 3, again, because we've either tested the other level 3 card, or, I mean, we technically have both level 3s. And the level 4 cards, we don't want at all. We take the other level 3 Envision, because we've tested one of the 3 cards, and we honestly just don't. Like, again, I talked about this yesterday, but I could bring Cleansing Rite, but I know that I don't want this card. Even here with some Cultist switching curse, they're making attack switch curse is not threatening thing in the world. Again, really, I think in base Gloomhaven, the only scenario where I would ever want Cleansing Rite would be against Forest Imps, and I do think in scenarios against Forest Imps, Cleansing Rite obviously is quite good, but that's so narrow. And obviously, like in Forgotten Circles, I guess there can be more scenarios that give curses, in which case that's fine, but still. Okay. So we can still look at the 5-6 stuff. We brought Careful Attunement last time, which was fine. Still kind of just maybe a slightly worse Dimensional Divide. But it wasn't bad. Dimensional Divide's still good. We can consider bringing Seal Their Fate and Feebling Hex instead. So we're leaning back more into curses. 7, we have Healy things. So we have more elements now as well, which is nice. At 8, again, we're trying to use Deep Contemplation. And 9, Hand of Destiny. Yeah, I mean, we should try Enfeebling Hex. We haven't played with it, so let's put that in. In that case, let's take Seal Their Fate as well. So, it means we're playing without Dimensional Divide, and we're not going to play with Careful Attunement either. That's fine. I mean, we played one scenario with Careful Attunement, and I think it was basically what I thought it would be. Nice initiative for move 3, which is fine. Alright. I mean, this way we've at least played with Enfeebling Hex. Fair. In on a boss fight, Enfeebling Hex is going to be so-so. But... Alright, so we have 163 gold to do enhancements now. So let's see what we can do with that. We don't actually have to bring Dimensional Transfer for this scenario either. What would we want instead? Let's take a look at everything. So we've got 1 light here, we've got 1 dark here, and we've got another dark here. So we're actually at 3 elements, sort of. I think we can get more here, but that's not super likely. We've got 1 element consumer here, and that's it. So we're fine on elements, we don't need to worry about that at all. It's true that we do lose movement now, though, so we might actually need this Teleport 4 anyway. Because, yeah, I mean, we don't have Dimensional Divide or Careful Attunement, so we just lost a move 3 and a move 4. And we have, at this point, a move 3, and that's it. Yeah, so we do actually have to have a movement card. So it could be Dimensional Transfer, or it could be the teleporty thing, actually. Otherworldly Journey, but I guess Dimensional Transfer is probably still the correct choice. I don't really care about the element here, but just a range 3 stun against Cultists is really good. Not going to do anything against the boss, but once we get to the boss, we can lose this. We kind of, like, I mean, both things that it provides are quite good in the beginning. We want a fair amount of movement, which we need, and we want to stun against Cultists. So honestly, Dimensional Transfer, or Dimensional Transfer is just going to be fine here. It's a good card, it scales well, it's nice. I do like that card. One of my more appreciated level 1 cards. There are a lot of good level 1 cards for this class. It actually reminds me quite a bit like the Mindthief in that regard. I mean, like, Otherworldly Journey is good still. Like, this is a card I would always be happy to play, right? I cut it pretty early just because there's so many good cards, but both halves of this scale well and has decent initiative. This doesn't scale very well, and you get better replacements for that. This, wow, was just move 8, initiative 2, so not super exciting, but still for the initiative. Duality Shards can scale well with enhancements, it's okay. Anticipated Intricacies obviously scales quite well. It's a very good card. This card is also just very good. So, like, yeah, these are all level 1 cards that are good, plus obviously Void Snare and Dimensional Transfer. 5 good level 1 cards? Yeah, that's very Mindthief-y. Okay. So we need to do our road event, and I think we're good to go. And I will. No, I guess this is last scenario for the campaign, so I'm not going to grab battle goals again. All right, let's quickly change the screen and do our road event. Yeah. I actually gotta read this one. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, I'd forgotten about that one. All right, well, we had no effect. So, let's take a look at the scenario rules. We don't actually have anything to look at yet. We do need to put a number. This is kind of one of those metagaming giveaway things. The fact that it's a boss, you know it's a boss scenario because there's like the boss card, right? And you have the number here and nowhere else. And the bosses have like rules to explain. So you basically know exactly which room the boss is in, right? You know that the boss is in this room with the way, like with the information you're given for setting up the scenario, which is kind of interesting. So we'll try to play this the way we would normally play this, which is going. So again, metagame. Oh, we actually should grab the chest. Metagaming. The fact that the boss, that like you know the boss is here, or these, and there's a room down here, and you know there's a chest, does lead you to kind of. Like, I mean, this is how what we do the very first time we play this scenario, and we were correct. Is thinking, all right, so if the boss is here, but there's a chest in the scenario, then it makes sense that since you wouldn't actually have to go down here, that the chest is probably in this room. So even though this is the last time playing this campaign, we will attempt to grab the chest, which is what we would normally do in this scenario. It depends, though. Like I said, we've got triple cultists because of the 4-player setup in the back of this first room. If it turns out that we get really unlucky in the first room and have to face multiple rounds of summoning, then there's a chance we might not have the time to go get the chest. But our initial goal will state as going to grab the chest, and then we'll see there. All right, all these one last time. Okay, here we go. So, what do we need to do in the beginning? There are no additional scenario rules. I mean, we ignore negative scenario effects anyway. So crowding them would be good. Stunning them would also be good. Neither of these things are super easy for us to do, huh? You can start in, I mean, even like up to here, 1, 2, 4. The Mindthief can theoretically jump. Dropping rocks and a disarm rift is probably our best plan. Rifts also stop summoning because they're not empty hexes. So yeah, let's just go for a standard start here, I think. I mean, also known as El Clasico with this party, which is place some rocks, place some rifts, have some fun. Okay, so we'll explain everything. Basically, as has been the case for our entire duration with this class, when we play Void Snare, it's good to play Revitalizing Found at the same turn because it gives us an additional ranged ranged rift, which makes it easier to set up multiple rifts that enemies will move through and disarm. It would also let us potentially put an enemy that wouldn't move or wouldn't move the way we would want it to into a disarm rift. It also, honestly, at this point, since we don't have any good initiatives left, also gives us our actual best initiative. Skeletons can move at 20, but we have boots of speed, so we can turn our 21 into an 11 if we need to, which makes this work. Obviously, the 30 would work for that reason as well. And unfortunately, 11 is still slower than the cultists, although the cultists won't make it to us, so that doesn't matter. And otherwise, I mean, we always have the option to just move using Revitalizing Fountain with an Endurance Potion. I guess we should start something like here. No, we would need to be here, because then if we move to here, we can place one of the rifts up here to block some summoning spots. Start there. Yeah, because then we can do like Rift or something like that. So we'll have the Cragheart start a little bit further up as well. I guess the Mindthief also. Mindthief doesn't necessarily want to move up this turn. And so the Cragheart we're having, as usual, just go as early as possible in order to be able to play Rock Slide before the enemies go. Again, to block hexes potentially for summoning, potentially just for funneling them through rifts, also to deal some direct damage in the beginning, and to set up some rocks to knock some enemies into. All the things, basically. Alright. What should the Mindthief do? I guess kind of our classic starter. We don't have any other cards here we should have brought. No. I think our classic starter of make him like move and make a ranged attack and set up Mind's weakness. Pretty good. We should find a hex we can go to hit something. I mean, the Cragheart can always like move away or something like that. And worst case scenario, even if we somehow end up not getting to like hit something with a Mind's Weakness, it's also not the end of the world. This way we set up Ice for next turn, so we're essentially making an attack 5 on bottom and getting the Mind's Weakness set up. We could consider like trying to play jump and get back here, but we'd run the risk of making a lot of attacks, and we're going to set up like rocks and rifts to make the enemies coming towards us get disarmed. If we put the Mindthief to the other side, they're not going to run through the rifts, or I guess we could go late and do this, but then we wouldn't be blocking the summoning anyway. If we had like 63 initiative, move jump, then we might change. Like if we could do feedback loop at like 62, I mean like 60 to 63 initiative, something like that, that's still a good chance of going after the skeletons, but go before the summon of the cultists. We would consider doing that. But given that we're either always going before the cultist summon, but really early, which would then expose us to getting hit by the skeletons, which we're trying to rift, or we would go after the cultist summon anyway, there's not really much of an incentive to try to jump back there. We could try to jump back there and stun, using like stun powder and maybe like an element creation from the mana potion from the diviner. But we can also just hope that they don't summon the first turn, right? Ooh, and they don't. Nice. Okay. So we don't need to change our initiative on the diviner. The healing is a little bit annoying, but whatever. It's still much better for us than them summoning. They're going to heal basically most of the damage we deal with rock slide. So I guess in this case, we actually don't really care about rock sliding for damage exposure, because the cultists are going to heal pretty much any damage we do, I think. All right, so the question is, do we want to move first? Making the cultists move through more of a funnel, like a choke point or a narrow space, is good for us because it leaves less surface area for them to summon into. So that's not necessarily a bad idea. So how would this happen? The issue is, how is the Mindthief going to get coverage? I guess we can damage enough different enemies that they can't heal all of them either. I think that makes the most sense. So we can't move adjacent to the skeletons because then they won't walk into our rifts. If we move here, and then the diviner placed... Let's see where the diviner's rifts can be then, if we're here. The diviner goes like rift here, then this will move to here, this will move to here, and this will want to go to here. But we can obviously make it move through one of the rifts, so that's fine. Because it'll go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, whatever. Yeah, this here, its focus would be the Cragheart, who went first, and to hit an additional target, yeah, it goes here. This 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, but this is blocked, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So to here, rift. Yep, so this works. So we do disarm all of them by moving up here. And we can not place any more obstacles up here. We'll just place obstacles basically for damage, and again to kind of create a more narrow space that the cultists will move through to make it more difficult to summon. Not this turn, but in the future. And putting rocks behind enemies makes it easier for us to push things into rocks. So we'll drop a rock here with rock slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can put one here, something like that. Or you can put like one here. Better for us. Again, the narrower the better, I think. How much will the cultists actually move, though? The cultists only have 2 movement. So the elite will go first to here. Then this one won't even be able to move, and this one will go to here. Yeah, that still mostly puts them in pretty narrow spots. I think that's good. Rather than if we go here, this one will go to here. This one still won't move, that doesn't change anything. Because we always want to place one here because this damages both of them. So really, we want to place one here because this damages both of these. We want to place one here because this damages both of these. Then the only question is whether we place a rock here or whether we place a rock here. Because this way we damage 5 enemies, and again, only 3 enemies are going to get healed. So this is still pretty good for us because it does still end up doing 4 effective direct damage. Obviously not bad, while also, again, deforming the terrain. Yeah, I think just making things a bit more narrow is good for us. Let's do it like this. And this also allows the Mindthief to potentially jump to here at some point with boots or something like that, and have a spot to then still attack things from. Like a nice little alcove. Okay. So we're going to do 2 damage to everything. Let's see what's ending up getting healed, and we'll just do the 2 damage to do the things that don't get healed. Okay, and so that creates Earth, and we moved first with Unstable Upheaval going to here. And we're going to Endurance Potion back Unstable Upheaval. Haha! On our last day of playing this campaign, we're finally not forgetting to use our Endurance Potion after deciding all the fun stuff. Okay, so then the Diviner's up next. So we're going to use Revitalizing Fount and Void Snare, and as is tradition, for the last day of playing a Diviner, I will read off her abilities the first time that I use them. So the bottom of Revitalizing Fount is going to give us place 1 Rift token on any unoccupied hex within range 3, pull 2, target 1 enemy within range 3 of any Rift token, and pull them toward that Rift. And then we're going to do place 1 Rift token on any unoccupied hex within range 3. When any enemy enters a hex containing a Rift token this round, it gains Disarm. So, like I said, we're going to place a Rift here and a Rift here. Makes sense. Any real more reasonable way to do this? No. This is how the things are always going to go. Yep. And we're not going to pull anything into a Rift, because if we pulled into a Rift, we would disarm it, but only for this round. Whereas here, because they're going to walk into the Rifts on their turn, where they're actually going to get disarmed for 2 rounds of attacks. Better. Okay. So the cultists go. So again, -1 movement. So 1, 2. So they heal missing the things that are missing the most health, but everything's missing the same amount of health. So in this case, the tiebreaker that I always use is just proximity. So the closest thing to it is itself. So it'll heal itself. This one can't move. It only has 2 movement, and this one will heal number 5. So these won't have taken any damage, and this will move here, and this will heal number 2. That means it'll just be the 2 front skeletons, which will take in 2 direct damage, which actually works out decent for us. I mean, the direct damage on the skeletons is better and worse. It's better because they have shield, so direct damage is like a little more valuable, especially the elite. This is actually the best one for the direct damage. After that, we would have preferred it, I guess, on cultists, because they're a higher priority to kill. Although they're going to kind of be stuck behind here, so it's not so easy for us to focus them down. Still. So as of right now, well, I mean, I guess these things are moving up. If they were to summon now, for example, we would at least have 1 summon block, because this would summon here. I mean, this one would get summoned back there, but this one wouldn't summon. Fortunately, the bones obviously are going first, but they're also not summoning right now. So living bones go. So like I said, this one's going to move to here. This one is going to move to here. And this one is going to move to here. This disarms all of them. Void Snare, even on the highest possible difficulty, at level 9, still as good as ever. This, one of the best level 1 cards in the game. And Fount makes it a lot better, while also just being a good card on its own. That's why I think Fount is just a no-brainer at level 2. Just excuse me for a second while I blow my nose. Alright, back. So that's that. Now the Mindthief goes. Our ordering doesn't really matter much here. I guess it's better to make this attack first, and we have flexibility to move wherever we want. I think we're always staying where we are right now. We'll begin by using the Mind's Weakness. Let's just give attack 3, targeting the adjacent living bones. And again, to clarify for anyone who's watching for the first time, technically the better thing for me to do in this party would be to just use the top of Phantasmal Killer to execute regulars as much as possible, and just funnel Dark from the Diviner and my own sources of Dark now at this point with Cranium, Corrupting Embrace, Phantasmal Killer, and Apathetic Assault. But this is a lot less fun, and also like kind of plays a lot less into the Diviner's deck stacking, so I'm not doing this. I forgot to do the enhancement for the Diviner. Ah, well, whatever. Not the end of the world. Okay, so instead we're actually attacking. So we'll perform an attack 3, targeting number 4 here. -1. I think this has only 1 shield on the regular. Yeah. Okay. Down to 10. Hey, Gripe, how's it going, man? Hey, Christopher. It's going well. How are you? And again, I want to stay here, so I'm going to move in place using the bottom of Dark Frenzy, which is going to create ice for me. And I get to make an attack 3 range 3. So I'm not going to attack the adjacent bones, because then I would have disadvantage. I also don't want to attack this one, because it has 2 shield rather than 1 shield, so I would just be dealing less effective damage. And we kind of want to eliminate as many enemies as quickly as possible, so that we can make it to the cultists. Also, killing these enemies isn't necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily free up space, because they drop coins. Also, I mean, these rifts occupy spots as well. So I'm going to make my attack 3 range 3, hitting living bones number 2, actually. +2, so this ends up being an attack 7. Again, 5 here, but +2 from the IS for next. So 5 here is 4 actual damage, putting us down to 9. Okay. And so again, the reason I want to stay here is because by being adjacent to an enemy, it allows me to use Perverse Edge bottom while making a top attack. I'm not necessarily sure to do that this coming turn, because they're all disarmed. So we'll see. But still, it gives me the option to do it. There's no real downside to being next to them since they're disarmed anyway. Okay, so what are we up to next then? Don't have any of our elements just yet. But we have filthy thing to do here. This is the first time we've actually done this combo too. We're actually going to use Brutal Momentum bottom, Consuming Earth to add +2 to all range attacks this round, and then we can do a Blind Destruction attack 4 range 4. 52 initiative still lets us go before the cultists, and this goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So we basically are going to get to do an attack 6 at range here, which also splashes 6 or 7 damage onto this cultist. So we're looking at around 14, maybe 16 damage to the cultist, which is really good, obviously. And 52 initiative. I mean, like, this works well here. It's kind of a free turn since these are all disarmed. We're under no threat. Still go before the cultists go. We're not CCing anything, but we don't really have CC on the divine or the Cragheart anyway. We can even potentially. No, we can't actually reach the compass, but let's see. Anyway, I mean, this is still just a really good turn here. It's like kind of the ideal opportunity to do this, and we can consider using potions as well. We'll probably end up saving those for the boss. Okay, what are we doing? Muddling all enemies sort of sucks. This is actually good here. Deep Contemplation. If they don't get the summon this turn, this is actually really good against cultists. So this is as good of an opportunity as any to do this. Good morning, Dwarf. You don't need to stun anything here because we wouldn't reach the cultists anyway. So we're just going to try to mess with the cultist deck. I mean, we can't put the cards on bottom, but we can still look at the top 2 cards and like know when the summon is coming, which is useful. The downside of this is always the same thing. If we get the shuffle the turn we play it, it's useless. And the shuffle is the summon. So basically, if we don't get a summon this turn, we're going to be in a really good spot. If we do get a summon this turn, this kind of makes this useless, which is the biggest problem with this action. But still, I think this is the thing that makes no sense. And I guess we're just going to use Call of the Nether. We can hit all 3 of them. We'll be disadvantaged on 2 of them, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll be playing a bunch of curses. We actually don't really have any other tops to do. We've got like a stun on top, nothing adjacent that we want to stun right now. We're not going to run into the back to the cultists. We've got some deck stacking, but we don't have the element for that yet, which I'd really rather have, and we certainly don't need healing. Obviously, I would much rather have Ethereal Vortex right now. But yeah, okay, so all of the Nether it is, and this still lets us go before the summon. Doesn't really change anything, but technically still do. All right, so the biggest issue for us now is the fact that if these do summon, they're doing a lot of summoning. So maybe it's best to have the Mindthief. Can't actually make it to here, which is a little annoying. Been here 1, 2. Yeah, then we could have. We have ice, so we can like just do a move jump back there and get one of them with a stun. I think this is probably the safest line. The annoying thing is we don't stun anything meaningfully though, right? I mean, I guess we just attack this one then. Because just by being here, we're stopping this from summoning. I mean, I guess that's still good enough. We don't have any need to do any CCing here now. And by going here, then next turn, we can also use our stun. Although next turn, we're going to have their deck stacked. Basically, it's just like, I could just sit here and make an attack and then like another bottom attack on one of these, which would be the most efficient thing to do. But I'm going to be in such a good spot because of playing Deep Contemplation, if the cultists don't summon this turn, that I should play the Mindthief, I think, as a hedge against the fact that they can summon. So it's better to like play for the possibility of going back there and stopping a potential summon. All right, let's go for it. Yeah, surely enough, the summon. God. It's really unfortunate. All right. So basically the moral of the story is that these sort of effects suck. This has been across this entire campaign. I mean, I'm playing with this card now, but before this was Preparing the Path. It has been hammered in time after time after time how extremely underwhelming these effects are. And this is just another instance of that. Again, if it really feels like win more. Like when things go right, like if I didn't get a summon there and I get to do this, then I'm in like a really good spot. But that's like, if the thing doesn't summon anyway, then things are really easy no matter what. You know, I'm not in danger in this room with the cultist not summoning. I could have done it the first turn, I guess, but again, there's no way to know that I don't get to summon that turn. And also just, again, being able to add additional disarms is such a big deal. Anywho. All right, the Living Bones go first. Ugh. This is a dick move. So they're healing for 2 and they're getting some extra shield. Really annoying, actually. Well played. Or disarm not counting for anything there either. Okay, so the Mindthief is up next. Yeah, I mean, we're still going to go for this. We can't make it any further, so it is what it is. Alright. We're going to use the bottom feedback loop as a move 4 jump. 2, 3, 4 to here. And then we're going to use the top of Frigid Apparition. We're not actually going to stun here. There's no reason to stun this, because it has nowhere to summon here. It actually just takes 2 damage. And by using Frigid Blade for the ice rather than the stun, we get basically 4 more damage, and this is not getting a summon no matter what. We're only getting 2 summons, so this is still livable. It's much better than if they'd summoned on the first turn, but yeah, it just really sucks. We're like kind of wasting half of a turn here on the Diviner, whereas we could have done other things. Okay, so we're gonna use the top of Frigid Apparition. This is an attack 4, plus minus weakness is an attack 6, plus consuming the ice. And again, the better thing would be if we could make it to here, but we just can't. We're 1 movement short. Third Boots of Striding. So we make an attack 8 because of Frigid Blade consuming the ice. So an attack 8 hitting Cultist number 5. Okay, creating ice again. That's actually nice. So we get 10 damage here in the end. Makes them to 5. Disarmed as well. That doesn't matter. Not going to bother with that. Okay, we're done. So next up is the Diviner. Well, I guess I'm just gonna maybe alt move. Yeah, we have extra. Oh, this sort of effect is so crazily bad. Ugh. Shuffles make this so bad, right? We actually can't do this for either deck. Both of them are shuffling this round. So messing with either deck does absolutely nothing. So yeah, it's better to just move with this. We could Endurance Potion this, but I don't actually want this card back. It's my level 8 card and I don't want it back. Alright. So yeah, I'm just gonna move away to lose disadvantage on 2 of these attacks. I think that's just better. They have extra shield this turn too. This really sucks. We're basically dealing no damage. But still, losing disadvantage gives us a better chance to get like our curses or maybe elements or stuff like that. So we're gonna start by using the bottom of Deep Contemplation as a default move too. It's gonna move to here. And then we're going to use the top of Call of the Nether. So we're gonna create Dark. We're going to do an attack 0 curse, range 3. And this extra hex enhancement has been really good for me. Definitely think it is the best enhancement. So we're gonna put it here and then do on the line straight across, basically shaping the hammer like this. So we're gonna hit 2, 4, 9, I guess in that order. I don't believe I really care about using these things. If I was... I could actually hit like 2 of the cultists instead of the 3 of these by staying here. Hitting this is so insignificant, but hitting this maybe isn't. 1, 2, 3, and then shape the hammer like this. So we get 1 less curse, but we actually do some meaningful damage. No. It's only 1 target we get meaningful damage on at that point, because this should always die to the Blind Destruction here. No, I think I'd rather get an additional curse, and maybe still some meaningful damage on these skeletons. So it's 2 shield, 3 shield. Not super likely, because we're at like... an attack 0 gives us like average of 2.1 damage per target. So not very likely, but I never know. Don't believe it's worth potioning. I do think I will go ahead and use my goggles, though. Alright, so again, 2, 4, 9... We really should have replaced the Warhammer. We don't even have the melee attack burning. I kind of messed up with that. Oh well. That was with Ethereal Vortex. Good. Okay, so all these advantage. Shielding 1 ally does nothing. Nothing's attacking this round, so no damage there. 1 curse. Oops, we have not reset our health after the last scenario. I was like, ooh, this regenerate's going to do something now. Right. Well, advantage biting us a little bit here. I would obviously rather get 1 damage by getting a +3, but instead I get a +2 regen. This thing has 2 shield. I do get regen, not that that's right here. Okay. And then the elite. That's what we like to see, though. Yeah, the muddle does something. Unfortunately, we get the +3 again on something with 3 shield now. But we give you a muddle, and we give them 4 curses. This is still pretty good for us. I mean, like, muddling 1 target, doing 4 curses, it's a really fine turn. And again, we should have done, what, 3 damage here as well, in addition to all the curses and the muddle and stuff like that, if it weren't for them doing this nonsense, so still very respectable. Okay, so Yol Kragikins is up. We're going to begin by using the bottom of Brutal Momentum, consuming Earth, to add +2 to all of our range attacks this round, and then we're going to use Blind Destruction, so this makes this an attack 6 range 4. All allies and enemies adjacent to the target suffer damage equal to the damage the target suffered. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hit the Elite, because this splashes onto the regular here. We're making an attack 6 already, so I'm not going to use any potions. This should kill. I guess we do have 2 -2s in our deck. No, I don't want to use that here. Yeah, it doesn't matter if this kills, because it damages itself for 2, actually. So even if we get a -2, it still dies. So actually, no, it's really not necessary. All right, so we're attacking number 6 with an attack 6. I would love to have advantage here, but it doesn't work out that way. Okay, so 7 damage there. Puts you down to 18, and splash is 7 damage to here. Yeah, so like I said, 14. Just a casual 14. Okay, so now the cultists go. Each suffer 2. No dark arts. And we're gonna have to bring out some more bones. Okay. This one gets summoned here because this is not an empty space, and this one gets summoned. At least we're gonna be like lock them in. Okay, and that's the end of the round. Bigger problem is all these bones behind us now as well, huh? Arm. Alright. What do? I think doing some deck stacking now is good. We don't really have much else that contributes to combat. Well, we could stun invis one of these. That's not bad. Not so likely to be before them, and maybe just do some more curses rather than muddling all the enemies. We're going to stun one anyway, we don't really need to muddle all the enemies. Yeah, sure, let's go with this. This seems actually a very reasonable turn for us. Multiple curses, take one enemy out of the fight. Got an element we're not using, but we're going to create Dark again, so we'll still have it when we use Destiny. Okay, so the Mindthief actually does need to move up. In that case, I think we're using Empathetic Assault. And that means we need... Oh, we actually have Dark, so we can actually use Shared Nightmare here. That's nice. So it's really important that I go before 10, because the cultists can actually move at 10. I really want to move to here to prevent like basically anything from coming up. And I get a coin, although that really matters. But yeah, this is just a good spot to be in to kind of choke all of them. And then I can make my 2 attacks with Shared Nightmare. The kind of annoying thing here is I do want to hit the elite cultists. Like basically I want to hit the 2 cultists with Shared Nightmare because these are the most important targets. So I'm not going to actually have advantage on this one because I'll be adjacent because I do need to move first before attacking so that I get advantage for my attacks. Otherwise, I could attack first, but then I would have not advantage here nor here, whereas by moving first, I'll have still advantage here, just not advantage here. It's a little bit annoying, but it's a minor inconvenience. And again, getting poison and damage on the 2 cultists is just much more valuable than hitting the bones, which can just be created ad nauseum. Okay, so speaking of getting advantage, I think going for Blunt Force here makes sense. I don't actually want to destroy this obstacle, but I don't have Brutal Momentum anymore. I only have Heaving Swing as far as melee attacks go. Crappy Kinetic Assault. Maybe even just a Massive Boulder here is fine. Massive Bouldering the center one does give us 1 splash on each of the other ones. Just like not killing any of them, but the next turn maybe we even just go for a Cataclysm or something like that. We kind of need to wrap up this room or Heaving Swing at that point. Just Heaving Swing is okay here because we can actually use the Battle Axe, pushing both, and we give wounds on 2 of them too, which is nice. But we actually clear out this spot here, like we make it easier for them to run through, which is something I really don't want. Don't think Heaving Swinging yet is the answer. In that case, yeah, I suppose it's just Massive Boulder. We'll see what happens. Alright, here goes. Ah, they're not moving. They're summoning again. That's kind of okay. This one won't get to summon now. There's just this one. I guess I can stun this. I probably will stun this using the stun powder on it. Essentially, it's going to allow me to use the stun powder to execute a 13 HP Living Bones, which I'm pretty sure is worth doing. Or maybe the Diviner can... No, the Diviner can't get past the skeleton wall. Okay. So the Mindthief's up first. We're going to begin by using the bottom of Empathetic Assault. Is there an element we would like to create? We're going to create ice anyway. We already have dark, which is going to get consumed. We could create a new dark, but she's going to create dark anyway. So earth is getting created, dark is getting created, ice is getting created, which is basically all of our elements. We can create light as well. but I only need one of them. I don't need both, and none of these enemies consume dark. Not yet, at least. At some point, night demons will. It doesn't really matter which element we create with Empathetic Assault, huh? We're doing a ranged attack, so it's not like we would benefit from the earth with our blade or something like that. Good? No, because we want to move first. We're going to move away. I'm going to guess just creating light, because then we have light and dark for the following turn in case we want to use dark again, which I don't think we will, but still, sure, why not? Alright, yeah, we'll create light with Empathetic Assault when moving. We move to here. Coin, that doesn't really matter. Heals us for 2, that also doesn't matter. Gives us strength, and that does matter. Then we're going to use the Top of Shared Nightmare, consuming dark, and creating ice. This gives us an attack 3, range 4, target 2, poison curse. We're going to hit Cultist 6 and Cultist 4 in that order. Again, because the Cultists are easily our highest priority. And we will use the Stun Powder when hitting the regular Cultist. Again, this one won't summon because the spots are blocked, but this one would summon. So we're going to Stun Powder that one. Okay. That's everything, right? We'll do the regular first. This is an advantaged. An attack 3, poison curse stun. Okay. Not super exciting. Muddle as well. Haha, take that. I'll do the curses at the end. So you are poisoned and stunned. And then the adjacent, which is not advantage. We've done the same. Okay. Get +1 there. This ends up being 4 damage. And a poison as well. And we give them 2 curses. Making nice progress on that front, which is good. Yeah, so we're done. So then the Cragheart goes. So it's actually pretty fortunate for us that the Living Bones, I mean, they actually got a really fortunate flip for them last turn, but this turn, a really bad flip for them. We can actually move away and they won't hit any of us. So we're going to use Blunt Force first because we want to gain our Strengthen before attacking. So we're going to move to, which creates Earth. Move to here. Move to here or here, but here is technically a little bit further up, and this lets the Diviner be kind of behind us. Not that it changes much because they attack multiple targets anyway, but still, I think this is fine. We retaliate 1, this doesn't matter. We gain Strengthen, which does matter. And we make an attack 3, range 3, all allies and enemies adjacent to the target suffer 1 damage. Hitting Bones number 9. And hitting 9, even though it has 1 more shield, so it does 1 less damage, we're getting 1 more splash by splashing onto both of them, so this is still better. Okay, +2 is good. So our 3 becomes a 5, which is 3 actual damage here. And then 1 direct. Working them back down a little bit. Oops. Okay, well in the end the Diviner's top sort of sucks, but actually this is going to allow us, I think, just to default this back. I mean, we have 3 cards in our hand now, so using an Endurance Potion to get a card back gives us an extra turn, and Dimensional Transfer is a good turn. 57 still goes before the Cultist, so it does allow us to potentially, if we can get back there, to stun one of them before it can go. And stunning the Bones here does absolutely nothing, because they're not moving. So we're going to use the bottom Seal Their Fate first. I mean, I guess the other option would be... We could? Should we do that? It's just... We could consider using the top of Seal Their Fate just one time to have fun, but the reality is, we just don't let enemies attack that often, right? Which is, I mean, the correct way to play in Gloomhaven. We have some stun on the Diviner with Dimensional Transfer. We have a fair amount of disarm with the Disarm Rift. The Cragheart doesn't really have any, but has obstacles to block paths. And the Mindthief has, a metric ton of disable. So we basically just don't. I mean, look, thus far we have it. We're on round 3, and so far not a single enemy has actually attacked us, right? Nor are any going to attack us this round. And I mean, there aren't going to be many attacking us next round either. So it's just like we lose a lot of longevity to not deal much damage because of just the way the proper way to play Gloomhaven. I mean, the best way to deal with high difficulty Gloomhaven is to limit as few enemy attacks as possible. Now, obviously, curses go towards that. Like, we're putting a lot of curses in their deck to make it so that when they do attack, we don't take damage, but we're still not planning on letting them attack us that much. We don't really have the sort of party for that. Now, obviously, some parties could. But I think, even though we could maybe afford to play the loss here, it just gains us so little, and we're also losing this really good bottom. So, anyway. Is it advantageous to stay where I am or move 1 back? I think I'll move 1 back. Going here, only 1 can hit both of us. 1 can hit both of us anyway. So it doesn't actually change anything, right? Let's see. Yeah, this one would always go here, this one would go here, this one would go here. If we're here, this one will go here. I guess it's less hits on the Diviner, though. More hits on the Cragheart, which is probably still better for us. Alright. But at the same time, I want to have the possibility of like moving up and stunning things back here. No, let's just stay where we are. I think this is fine. Okay, so we'll just stay where we are. We'll do an attack 2, range 3, double curse. We're definitely not attacking the elite because again it has more shield, it has 2 shields. So we'll attack one of these. This one has lower health, number 2, and we kind of want to just kill one of them so we can make a path through. So we will attack number 2 with our attack 2 double curse. Okay, +1 means we do a total of 1 damage. Exciting. But we get 2 curses, which is actually pretty good. Okay. And like I said, we're going to Endurance Potion, bringing Dimensional Transfer back, not doing anything with it. We could have moved up and punched, but then we would have been getting attacked, which is certainly not worth. Okay, Cultists go. So the Elite is just going to take 2 damage, but not summon, because there's nowhere to summon, and this one is just going to stun. Not take 2 damage, but also not summon. And Living Bones, none of them move. Another round. So we dealt with back-to-back summons pretty well, which is nice. Alright. So now Mindthief, I think, is just going to go ham. Corrupting Embrace is just our best attack, so we can make 2 attacks. But do we actually want to kill this that quickly? We don't really, right? It's not really doing anything. So what if we just use this and... The Invis is also nice. Thing is, I want to stun and wound the back cultist so that it can't summon. Although, we did just flip back-to-back summon, so we should think that we shouldn't see another summon, but this is like the gambler's fallacy, right? It has no actual bearing on our probability of seeing a summon next turn or not. We're still at 1 out of 4 to see a summon. Yeah, I think it makes more sense maybe to go Invis next turn. It gives us kind of unfortunate initiative for going Invis next turn, though, unless we keep this and this, and that means we're actually using this turn. But this is kind of bad because we don't actually, like, killing this isn't very good for us. It just allows one of these to come up. But I guess, like, this attacking actually curses, whereas these attacking don't curse. So maybe it's kind of alright in the end. To just kill it and do this, because this allows us to at least go Invis very early next round. Kind of a shame because it just feels like we're wasting a really good top attack here on a target that doesn't really warrant it at this point. Again, this elite is just non-threatening for us because it's boxed in somewhere where it can't actually summon. Okay, so what are we up to now? Oh, we didn't create dark in the end. Good thing we created that light, huh? So yeah, we don't need to stun this turn, so I suppose we can wait on that. I do want to do deck stacking, and I might as well muddle and create dark at the same time. I don't know that the initiative difference between 42 and 50 is going to change much. Thus far, Curative Flux being pretty underwhelming, kind of as expected. Unfortunately, having only 1/2 and that half be situational is just not really where you want to be. Alright, so what is old Craggy up to? We are... No, we did strengthen ourselves last turn, right? Yes, we're still strengthened. Could attack with Cataclysm, but I'm not sure that that's actually necessary. Probably better to just attack with this. I actually think going with this and doing a little bit of direct damage to them is not bad. We'll do 1 direct damage to the Diviner. I suppose that's alright. But if we go here, we're actually making it so that multiples of them, I mean, they can hit both of us. I guess if we go to here, they can't. Yeah, this works. And the fact that we're actually going after their 20 doesn't really bother me because we're going to be applying wound this round. So I'd rather apply wound after they heal themselves rather than before. Just getting a little bit of extra bonus direct damage with the bottom of Rumbling Advance seems valuable here. Also creates Earth for us on bottom, which is nice because there's a decent chance we'll just make another sort of boring melee attack with like, Kinetic Assault next turn, and having melee or having Earth once again will add 2 more damage. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is kind of scary, huh? We really actually don't want to kill this one. We have a pretty high likelihood of doing exactly that. Let's see here. All right. I guess. Yeah, I think we're going to change plans a little bit here. Having that back cultist move up and attack us is kind of not the end of the world. Because I mean, it attacks at -1. It's making an attack 2. It does give us a curse, which one curse is kind of annoying, but we've got deck stacking, so I think we should be alright. I think I'd rather let that attack me than have one of these make 2 attacks on me. I mean, it is only 2 attack for 3, so it's 6. Like 2 damage and curse versus 6 damage. But I think I'd rather 2 damage and curse than 6 damage. And also, by actually stunning one of these, it's eliminating an attacker down here, which is also pretty good. Let's begin by using the top of Corrupting Embrace. We're going to make both attacks hitting this elite cultist here. Nothing special. Okay. We're still advantaged. Okay. So our first attack is a 3, plus it's actually already poisoned, so 4. Stuns, and we get a crit. So this is 8. And 2. So we could choose to stop now, because this is stunned, then nothing back here would attack us. Or we can just kill it. I think it's probably still worth it to just kill it, rather than just not doing a second attack from Corrupting Embrace. Here we go. Okay. We do indeed kill it. Oh, we forgot to use the ice, actually, on that first attack. It wouldn't have actually changed anything. I guess we would have flipped less modifiers, but our deck is reshuffling anyway. Oops. We did forget to use the ice, though, with our Frigid Blade. Should have just done that on the first attack, I think would have been correct, and then we would have killed it there, and we would have flipped time, which again... Well, I guess it didn't change nothing, because then we would have had a +2 on this attack. We'll see how this works out in the end. Okay, so now we're going to use Perverse Edge. And this just hits much harder, right? It hits for 1 more damage. Even though it's muddled, all of them are going to be muddled anyway, since the Diviner is playing in Peopling Axe this turn. So, again, I think it makes sense to just stun this one. So, yeah. Because, again, stunning anything over here changes nothing. We could stun this one, but then one of these comes up to hit us. If we stun one of these, this comes up to hit us anyway. So, whereas stunning one thing down here prevents just 1 more attacker. So, we will hit, yeah, the Elite using Perverse Edge. We're going to create ice again. Yeah, so we actually did miss 1 damage by forgetting to use our ice, because we would have flipped a +2 on this, which would have done 1 actual. So we do no damage. Get rid of this now. It technically still has it, but I don't really care. It's going to be stunned. Okay. And that's our turn. So now the cultists go. So this cultist moves to here and attacks us. +1. Alright, we take 3. That's fine. We get a curse. Oh no, the deck stacking is awful because we flipped misses and curses. Ugh. I mean, this is so much less frequent. Alright, so we get a curse, which is annoying. I was like, yeah, it's alright because we're going to get to mess with the curse in our deck, but no, not at all. Alright, so we're done. So now the Cragheart is up. We're going to use... Yeah. I think we're just going to hit one of these enemies. Going here makes sense. I could use my Battle Axe here, but I'm kind of fine with saving the Battle Axe. We don't really have this room under wraps. We're still facing 6 enemies, but the most difficult part of this room, which is the fact that there were cultists in the back, has been... I mean, we're past that now. And also, putting Wound here when it already has Wound isn't super exciting. I also don't really want to push, like I said, something into here, because I'd rather create this choke. So I can actually just go here and push this into this rock, which is pretty good. And again, going here gets me 2 direct. I guess I can kind of do the same thing by going here and pushing these. They're all hitting the same target at this point anyway, so it doesn't change too much. But this one has 1 less health, so again, no, 2 less health, so more damage to the better. Could go here, and then I don't do any direct damage to the Diviner, but I also get 1 less. I think I'm happy to take 1 direct damage here with 1 direct damage on the Diviner. Streamed? Didn't know. Hey, I streamed yesterday, Themerus. Sorry that we can't all live in air-conditioned North America. Or the US. I'm not even sure if Canada is as air conditioned. And hello, Themerus. Okay, so we're going to move there with Rumbling Advance. Creates Earth, does 1 direct damage here. 1 direct damage here. And 1 direct damage to the Diviner. We're playing with, testing out some of the other Diviner cards, giving them a chance. Yesterday and today. Alright, then we use Heating Swing. So we're going to consume the previous Earth. We still had an old Earth using the Tremor Blade. This turns this into an attack 5, wound, push 2. We'll be using the push, targeting bones number 2 here. And we still have advantage as well. So we can just like kill this thing off, huh? Then we ruin all our good stuff. Alright, let's see how much damage we have to begin with. We have a +2 on our 5. Means 7 has 1 shield, so 6 damage. I don't know, we're good no matter what, right? again, we had 3 plus 2 from the earth is 5, plus 2 from the modifier is 7. We got push 4, so we're at 6 actual damage because it has 1 shield. It's wounded. This isn't going to matter because we just push it 1/2 into this rock, which kills it. Does 2 life exactly, and the rock does 2 damage. Okay. And yeah, we have nothing else. Okay, so the Diviner's up next. So we're going to use Enfeebling Hex bottom, muddle, target all enemies. When any ally enters a hex containing a rift token this round, it gains strengthen. We also create dark. Alright, so we got a bunch of muddles to throw out. Really just here, and I guess on all these up here, because you never know which of them is going to be the next thing to attack. Alright, so those are gone. Yeah, this is muddle as well, that doesn't matter. No, none of our allies are entering hex containing rift tokens this round. So. Okay, and then we're going to use the top of Hand of Destiny, reveal the top. So it's the reveal of the top 5 cards of all attack modifier decks, then place any of them on the bottom and the rest on the top in any order. We're not going to mess with the Mindthief, unfortunately, because we're getting a reshuffle there, but we will do all the rest of the decks. Alright, so let's go here first. Oh, yes. Alright. This card is so good. It is so good. Man. It's still not as good as Planter Fisher, but it is so good. Alright, so there's only one enemy attacking this round, which is this, and it's attacking with Muddle. So what we can actually do... So it's like, we can actually, because it's going to be attacking with Muddle, I guess it's making multiple attacks though, huh? We're going to kind of end up wasting 1 curse no matter what. That's a little bit unfortunate, but so be it. So we can do something like this plus this, so this attack will miss. And then I think we'll just do this plus this. And then, I mean, this curse will stay on top. So what I could do is I could put curse like this. And then, well, I mean, we do apply a lot of curses at the same time. The only real question here is, so this is the first pile. This is the first attack, because it makes 2 attacks. The question is whether we'd rather do this and then have this as the 5th card, so we would, again, know we would have another miss coming, but we would sort of use 1 more curse now. Or we could go like this, and then we just leave 1 more curse in the deck, but we wouldn't have another miss coming. I guess a known miss in the future is probably more valuable than than a curse in the deck. How easily we can apply curses soon enough. I mean, we're out of our curse cards for a turn, but I still think that's fine. Yeah, I think this makes sense. All right, let's do it like that. So we have a miss there, and eventually a miss there as well. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I can just put the cards back like that. That's fine. Okay. Deck. Oh, just Cragheart stuff. All right. So how many +2s have we already seen? We've seen 2 of our +2s. How many +2s do we have total in our? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 +2s in our deck. Plus a crit. Sort of like 6 things that are better than +1. And of those, we've seen 2. So we have 4 more in our deck with none here. We're also not attacking with advantage anytime soon. I mean, I know I don't want this. Probably take like 2 +1s. Because we're likely going to make at least 2 attacks before we start attacking with advantage again. Yeah. I mean, we definitely take the +1 immobilize. The question is whether we take another regular +1. I think we take 1 more +1. Just knowing we have it is fine. Again, for some kind of unexciting non-advantage attacks. And then I'll put these 3 on the bottom. I guess in the proper order, because we make multi-target attacks. Yeah. Is having the immobilize first better? Yes, it is, actually. Because next turn we can attack this and then walk away from it. It's going to lose its stun here. And that'll keep it immobilized in place, which is actually really nice. Alright. While it continues to tick down. Stack the Diviner's deck. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I mean, actually seeing this is always great, right? Because you know you put it on the bottom of the deck. So we'll get rid of this and this, and we'll keep the rest of these. +2 is not exciting, but I think it's still fine. Definitely curses as soon as possible, I think. We end up attacking with advantage. I mean, I guess we won't attack with advantage, right? Yeah, curses as soon as possible. And the other +2. Cards on the bottom. Alright. Deck stacking done. So we are done. We consume the light. Our living bones go. So this one loses its stun. Takes 1 from its wound. So 9. We need to place all these models. They're not attacking. This one's going to go here. It's going to attack the Cragheart twice. Attacks all attacks on the same target. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Alright, sorry about that. Actually, I have to go refill my water in a second anyway. Yeah, anyway, so it attacks the Cragheart twice. And we know exactly how this goes. Miss. And a miss. I guess in the end, the muddle... We should have deck stacked first and then decided whether to muddle second. Yeah, that was actually stupid. Because if we had chosen not to muddle, we would have wasted 1 less curse. Yeah, that was actually dumb. Oh, man, Hand of Destiny requires a lot of forethought, which is cool. I like that. Alright, so that's done. Lose its muddle. I mean, because we basically just ended up... I mean, we got Dark, I guess, and 1 muddle here, but I don't really know that it's very valuable. Especially because the Mindthief is going to be going invis. And the Mindthief is also going to be creating Dark. Yeah, nothing else there. Okay, so the Diviner can just move up, and I mean, it's going to move and stun something. But then the Immobilize actually sucks. I guess we'll just stun this one then. Move to here or something and stun this. We also don't have this regenerated anymore. Yeah, unfortunately, our initiative isn't great. I mean, Cure to Flux, as expected, being extremely underwhelming. Would definitely just rather this be the like this right now. Careful Attunement would be so much better. Obviously, Ethereal Vortex would have been better as well already. Dimensional Divide would be better. Any of these cards would be better than this. Okay, so like I said, we're going to play these 2 cards going as early as possible and going invis, which blocks anything up there from hitting us. And as for us, we want to go before they're 20. This way we can move away. Suppose... I mean, this also just lets us move, huh? I want to keep the jump for afterwards. I'm going to use Earth to punch here. But this is my best punch, so it still makes more sense to use that first. I guess we'll play Cataclysm as well, and then we'll keep this for the initiative. Who knows what we'll do with that. We can't beat their 12 anyway with 13, and we always beat their... With 19 or 13, we beat their 20, so this works. Gives us our best melee attack, or we're going to get an Immobilize on this and just be able to step away from it. I guess being able to do like 1 or grab the coin, stuff like that. Alright. Even though we don't technically want the coin, but still. Alright, summon again, that's fine. So, yeah, we even go before the Living Bones, that's good. Mindthief's up first. We're going to use the top of Cranium Overload as a default attack 2, +2 from Mind's Weakness, +2 from Consuming Ice. So, a default attack 6. Hitting Cultist number 4, who is actually poisoned, so this is actually a default attack 7 in the end. Oh, come on. Wow, that 1 curse. Already. Okay. Okay, I see you. And then we're going to use the bottom of Phantasmal Killer. We actually even had Dark here, right? God. Non-lost executes. Why do you exist? So, technically, it was so much better to just use the Dark to just execute this Cultist. I guess then we wouldn't have been invisible. So then a Bones could hit us, but like we could have gotten a guaranteed kill on the Cultist and not gotten hit, but whatever. Anyway, I mean, again, just a moral story about how stupid this sort of effect is. How uninteresting and uninteractive. Okay, anyway, so we move in place, we create Dark, we go invisible, we also loot, but there's nothing to loot. I'm gonna stay as far up as possible, prevent this thing from something or anything like that. Okay. Cragheart's up next. I'm going to begin by using the top of Kinetic Assault. Move 1 here. Attack 4. Flipping a +1 immobilize. That means our attack is 5. This is 2 shields, so 3 actual damage, down to 6. Mobilize. And then we're going to use the bottom of Cataclysm. Oh! No. So we have no... Yeah, I forgot. I forgot about the Earth. Definitely not using every Cataclysm. So I'm going to use it for the Tremor Blade. We had no unknown information. 2 more damage. Hand of Destiny, at least allowing us to revert attacks sometimes when we're being careless. Again, we knew exactly what we were going to flip, so it's not like we have unknown information and we just were retroactively applying this. We had meant to do this and just kind of forgot. Because it's not like the Earth is doing anything else for us. I just kind of have a tendency to forget about my blades sometimes. Playing 3-handed, this will happen. Okay, and then we're going to use Cataclysm just to move to here and grab this coin. We want to move away from it, so the Immobilize effectively sees. So then the Diviner's up next, so Curative Flux. Again, here, if this were the move 3 on that other card, we'd be able to go to here, which is so much better. We can't go to here because then this thing will hit us. So we're actually just going to have to remain stuck in our corner, which is really annoying. Curative Flux, use up. Okay, so let's use the top of Dimensional Transfer and just stun and invis this Bones. I'm not going to bother placing them because the Bones is just going to go. We also create Dark. Alright, Living Bones go. So this one loses stun and invis, this one loses Immobilize and takes 1 from its wound, going down to 3. And all these do nothing because they have no way to find focus. And the Cultist goes and suffers 2 damage but cannot summon and loses its model. I think the Mindthief can just long rest here. I mean, we're basically functioning as an obstacle, and being able to long rest is just safer with the Mindthief because it allows us to choose what card we lose. Since we have so many good cards, we really don't want to lose. Cragheart not doing very exciting stuff back here. Default punch, huh? With a +1, so it punches 2, +1 is 3, so it does 1 damage. It's not quite enough to actually kill that. That's kind of annoying. We could just use our minor power potion, then we get a guaranteed kill. Would have been nice if we had created some other element otherwise, because then this would have killed, but that's like same thing. It's also using a power or a mana potion. Otherwise the Diviner can help out. I guess it is up to the Diviner to help out then, huh? We do on our attack 2, +2 is 4. Yeah, that actually kills this. Alright, that works. Yeah. Alright, so Diviner short rest as well, obviously. We have to have good enough initiative. Ooh. No, I don't want to lose that. I really hope... So the card I really don't want to lose right now is Seal Their Fate. Okay. I mean, this is a little bit unfortunate, right? Because I'm supposed to be like playing... Alright. I'm actually going to cheat here, to be honest. This is actually worse for me because I really want to lose Curative Flux, but I'm supposed to play with this card to at least have experienced it a little bit. I'm going to like technically cheat and say that I can't lose them on the reroll. So in reality, I'm super happy to lose this on the reroll because it is actually probably the worst card in my deck. Maybe comparable with like Deep Contemplation, maybe Dimensional Transfer, I don't know. And I really, really don't want to lose Seal Their Fate or Call of the Nether or Revitalizing Fount or Void Snare. So there are actually a lot of cards I'd much, much, much rather not lose than Curative Flux. But I'm supposed to play with this. So I'm not, like, I'm just going to, like, cheat a little bit here. Because, again, I would always reroll this. I would always accept this reroll. I mean, like, I'm always perfectly happy with this reroll, but we'll pretend that we didn't draw that and we instead drew... Oh, God, that is so much worse. So we're actually making things harder for ourselves, like even Curative Flux here. But again, the goal of today is a little bit to have played with this card, to at least say, alright, this is how this card is, you know? Alright. Yeah, it sucks to lose that, because we're... Curses. Well, we're gonna get 4 curses here, so I guess it's kind of okay. What is our best initiative? This is not really what we want to do. But this initiative also kind of sucks, because I don't want to let this elite go, is important. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to play this anyway, just as default attack. Basically because by using Seal Their Fate, going here, hitting this, I guess I default attack this. Ooh, but I can't default attack this first. Oh no, I can because I know I have another +2. Perfect. Yeah, that works. Okay. Oh man, deck stacking is great. So I can actually default attack this first, and then I use Seal Their Fate to move here and attack this. And I'm just using this because I just need to make sure I go before the skeletons. By going at 21, and I can use my boots of speed, I can actually go at 11, so I can guaranteed beat the skeletons in initiative. I just can't allow this Living Bones to get the Elite Living Bones to get another turn. Okay, here we go. Good decision. If we'd gone for the 57, then we'd be at 37, we'd go down to 27 with our boots. Yep, and we would actually go after. That would suck. Okay. So the Cragheart's up first. Gonna move forward, jump with Meteor. What's a little bit annoying is we're not making progress moving this way because we don't want to jump to the back and just let them hit us. We're actually gonna move here with Meteor, and then we're just gonna use the top of Unsaved Upheaval to make a default attack, hitting the regular bones number 4, with against which we know we get a +1. So we do 2 + 1 is 3. It has 1 shield, so it takes damage. Down to 9. Okay. So then the Diviner's up. You hate to have to use Fount like this, but it was just necessary for initiative here. So we're going to use the top of Fount simply as a default attack 2, hitting bones number 4. Flip this plus this. So we get 2 curses in their deck. And we get a +2. So our attack for 2 becomes 4. It has 1 shield, takes 3 down to 6. Then we're going to use the bottom Seal Their Fate to do a move 3, attack 2, range 3, double curse. Go 1, 2, 3, because we definitely want to start moving towards the door. We're going to attack the Elite. We flip a +2. So our 2 becomes 4. This is 2 shield. Takes 2 damage, which is just perfect. And 2 curses. Now it will die to its wound while also still getting the 2 curses. Deck stacking. Beautiful. Okay, so Living Bones go. This one dies to wound. Shuffle their deck as anything. I want to be sure. Okay. So this one cannot possibly hit the Diviner while hitting the Cragheart, so it's just going to stay where it is and attack the Cragheart. -1 on a -1, so 1 damage to the Cragheart. Oh no! Being Curative Flux something to do, right? Okay. Cultist goes. 2 damage. Down to 6. Still can't summon anywhere. And then we get our long rest on the Mindthief. Like, since I'm long resting, I actually can bring back the Mind's Weakness and just use an Endurance Potion to get an extra turn here, which I think is worth doing. Otherwise, sometimes we have difficulty finding the opportunity to use Endurance Potion to get an extra turn. Alright. So what are we getting rid of here? I kind of love all of our cards, huh? We should probably Cranium Overload. Don't need that much movement. It's that or Feedback Loop, but I like Feedback Loop a little bit more. It's actually a more useful initiative because I already have like 7, 8, 10, which always like beat all the things. So I've still got 3 good initiatives anyway, like fast initiatives, whereas this is pretty much my best slow initiative because Mind's Weakness is just going to spend the time up and then the 67 to go after the Invis. So yeah, we'll just get rid of Cranium Overload, which again is still a very good card, but for all of our cards. And again, we're just bringing back Mind's Weakness here. We can kind of afford to. We're not really in any hurry here. We can punch this with Mind's Weakness. And just Endurance Potion something else back to gain our extra turn. Alright, I think the Cragheart long resting here is fine, kind of for the same reason. Well, it heals us for 1, doesn't refresh any items, but just lets us choose a card to lose, which is pretty important. There is a bit of difference between our cards and some of the others. Okay, so what next? I wouldn't mind using Deep Contemplation here, hoping again that the cultists don't flip summon. I've got to assume that they're going to be more cultists in this scenario. And so being able to stack their 2 remaining cards, like the turn we're going to kill the cultist. The problem is, if the Mindthief kills the cultist before, God, there are so many hoops to jump through. And actually, the Mindthief has a decent chance of killing that. So annoying. It's just really annoying. We can't easily go before the Mindthief while having the Mindthief go before the cultists. Obnoxious. Absolutely obnoxious. I guess the cultist summoning doesn't actually matter. So we actually could just go like this. If the cultist attacks us once, the cultist attacks us once. Then we're not going to have the element stack 2 decks, but that's fine. We don't really care about stacking the bones deck. They're going to be around for a while anyway. All right, let's try doing that. So we're going to do that with a bot as a bottom. What are we going to do on top then? Still actually there's bones back here. Bit of an annoyance. If you were any other card. Oh, the Mindthief also long rested, which meant she killed for 2. Whoops, you missed that. I guess I can just stun that one in the back with this. Doesn't really seem like I have anything else to do. I don't need that much movement in the near future. Could also do deck stacking here, but I don't have the elements for it. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this then. Okay. Now it's a good thing we didn't care about doing it for the bones, because they're shuffling anyway. Alright, bones go. You heal for 2. Cultist goes. Attacks Mindthief. Mindthief is not invisible anymore. So attacks for +0, so an attack 3 on the Mindthief. Has a helmet, so we take 3 damage. More annoyingly, we take a curse again. And actually heals itself for 1, which removes. Also a little bit annoying, but should be okay. Okay, so then the Diviner goes. We're going to use the top of Dimensional Transfer to stun and invis. This is a little bit annoying. If we stun and invis this one, the Cragheart can't hit it. But I guess that's fine, because the Cragheart can like move up to here and shoot or something. Yeah, let's stun and invis this one in the back. We don't have to worry about it next turn. Rather than maybe getting one of these, which we could potentially care about, but again, I think care about that much since we have an invisible in the front. Okay, and then we're going to use the bottom of Deep Contemplation to reveal the top 2 cards of any monster ability card deck and put them back in any order. That's just not super useful. Don't want the Death Explode next turn. Knowing that they have the Death Explode the turn we enter the room is probably fine. It also gives them less movement. Yeah, I guess I'll do it like this. I just copy paste these up here so that I know without messing. Yeah, I have the deck. Alright, so one there, and this one there. Now we know that they're 2 non-summons. I guess that is something. Alright, so we're going to begin by using the top of the Mind's Weakness, and we're going to attack Cultist number 4 here while activating. We could just execute it using Phantasmal Killer, and then. Yeah, I mean, let's just not be stupid. I'm trying not to use this very much, but at some point I am just making the scenario much more difficult for myself than I really need, right? I'm going to lose my invis, but I don't really care then. Sure. Especially, so the Diviner actually created Dark for us in the end using Dimensional Transfer. So we're actually just going to use the top of Phantasmal Killer on your melee attacks, consume Dark to kill 1 normal target instead. And we should have done this the previous time. We're just going to do this here. I'm tired of jumping hoops around this. So we use this, active, execute the Cultist here. And then we're going to use the bottom of Mind's Weakness as default move 2, using Endurance Potion Charge to bring back the Mind's Weakness. Perfectly. And we're going to do that default move 2, going to here. Dark is gone. Huh. Interesting. Because the Disarm Rift, if we put it in front, could be a bit better, but by being here, we can just stun one of them. What am I even doing for top? I guess I'm setting up Mind's Weakness and the Alex stun. Yeah, that worked. Alright, we got a few points. That works, that works. Okay, Cragheart gets long rest, heals for 1, chooses a card to lose. I need to go refill my drink after this. What do we want to get rid of? Probably just one of these two. Probably Unsayable Upheaval. It's nice. It's nice. Maybe Cataclysm even. A lot of movement though. I think I do want to keep some amount of healing. I mean, I guess we're like forcing ourselves to keep Curative Flux, so maybe we just don't need Rumbling Advance. My Advance bottom is still also just good. Still want Massive Boulder. Definitely want my good push attacks. This Rock Slide. I mean, like it comes down to one of these. This is still just an attack forwards. This is only. Yeah, let's just get rid of Unsayable Upheaval. Fine. Okay. So, what now? So this is stunned. Oh, you've been eliminated. Yeah, so we know your next 2 cards, which is nice at least. Into the next room. For now, we don't know you all, but we know what we're doing. We're going to wound stun the adjacent one so that it can't attack, and we're going to activate Mind's Weakness. Sorry. Yeah, the Mind's Weakness. We could, again, continue executing, but I'm trying to avoid this for the most part. But, like, playing into this dark. This one down here is Invis. I think we're just going to strengthen ourselves and do a Brutal Momentum, a Massive Boulder attack. I want to save Blind Destruction for the next room, because this room mostly wrapped it up. I mean, we do still have some work to do to finish it, but I'd rather save my biggest power card for the next room. Okay, so no one's creating the elements we want just now. So I'm going to save this for when I have the elements. So, I mean, I guess Void Snare lets me make 2 attacks. Not bad. Bottom, but I don't get the elements. Curative Flux on top, which I guess heals the Mindthief and myself. I guess it also creates the element. It does create the element. Alright. This way we at least get to make some attacks to the bottom of Void Snare, and then the following turn we can do this combo again, which is not really a combo. Bit of a nombo, but I feel 100% so much weaker on the Diviner playing with these cards that I have here rather than the cards that I chose originally. Like, I felt like such a more powerful Diviner with Ethereal Vortex Planar Fisher. Like, I don't even, I think it's like a night and day difference, to be honest. I really feel like it's kind of a third wheel, where my only real power things that I do anymore are like, I mean, like, I have some like fine stuff, right? Dimensional Transfer is fine, and then like Fount plus Void Snare is really good still. Solar Fate is fine, Call of Another is good. I mean, Solar Fate, that stuff, like the Curse is good, but not so exceptional. And then Hand of Destiny obviously feels like really, really good. I mean, that as well, obviously. But I think I'd rather, I mean, Planar Fisher, I think, makes Ethereal Vortex and all that stuff even better, and I think Planar Fisher is still a little bit better, but I'd still rather just have Hand of Destiny and the other good cards. Like, it felt better yesterday than I do today. This is definitely like kind of the weakest configuration, I think. Anyway, let's go. Okay. Sort of some nonsense stuff, that's fine. The Mindthief's up first. We're going to activate the Mind's Weakness, which gives us an attack 3 on the adjacent bones. Boom, boom, boom. Bones. 2 damage there. And then we're going to use Perverse Edge. We're just going to attack the adjacent one as well. I'll do all the damage afterwards, just because this one's not attacking, this one attacks. So, attacking the adjacent one, this means disadvantage, but it's not that big. Not that big of a deal at all. So we get a +2 on our 1, which is 3, so 2 damage. So we get 2 damage, 2 damage. 4 total damage here. Putting us down to 9. Wounding it. And stunning it. Okay, and we're done. And the Cragheart goes, we're going to move 2, creating Earth. 1, 2. We actually do need to use our boots. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess, like this. We can hit this one. Only 2 movement, we can't actually. Alright, so we go 4 to here using our boots. And we'll use the top of Massive Boulder to do an attack through range 3. We'll hit this one so that we don't splash on the Mindthief. So attack through range 3. Targeting number 3 here. Give ourselves Strengthen. Use Blood Force. Okay, nice. And that's why Strengthen is nice. So 4 actual damage here. There's 1 shield and 1 actual damage here. Not bad. Okay. Now the Diviner goes. So we're going to use the bottom of Void Snare to make an attack 1, range 3, target 2. And hit both these bones just for the attack 1. So 3 and then 10. Heal 2 any ally. And the Mindthief, all this matter. Better than Curative Flux already. So we get 1 damage there, and the next. Light, that could be useful. Oh, we're going to create it anyway. Curative Flux. The one thing it was going to do is just let down by modifiers. Oh, God. Alright. So +2, so 2 damage there. So we got 1 damage here. Down to 8. And 2 damage here. Down to 6. Then we're going to use Curative Flux. So we do a heal 3, affects self and all allies, regenerate, create light. Alright. So we heal ourselves for 2, the Cragheart for none, heal the Mindthief for 2, and we've all got regenerates. Alright, there we go. I said I was going to go get another. Alright, you lose this and this. You lose this. Take 1 from wound. One can't find focus. Alright, be right back. I'm going to refill my drink. Alright, back. Slightly longer because I had a bite of cheese. Bread. Delicious. Alright. So, how are we wrapping up this room? Now we're using these 2 cards. It's like taking us longer to get through this room because the Diviner's not really dealing any damage. Like the deck stacking obviously does occasionally deal damage, but she didn't even get to deck stack the Mindthief, just the Cragheart. We're really just not contributing a lot of damage here, which is actually making this take much longer than it should. Just by we're basically playing like on a 4-player setup with sort of like 2.5 characters actually dealing damage. By Ethereal Vortex, it's just so nice. Okay. So what now? What do we have for elements? We have Ice, Earth, Light. Oh, Light's getting used here. I guess we're using Ice. I'm trying to think. I guess the Cragheart can go here and Heaving Swing. Kill this one. Yeah. We do the this. Then the Mindthief can just finish off the other one, which we can do probably with this. We're not currently strengthened. Probably a good idea to be to kind of get the guarantee kill. Alright, this works. We can create dark for when we enter the next room. It's fine, the coming turn. Go. Alright. For them. I guess this one's do stuff. How annoying. I can't even kill it, you know. Okay, so we're up first on the Mindthief. Yeah, I'm gonna move first. So I'm gonna create dark with the bottom of Empathetic Assault. I guess I could also consider creating ice. No, I think I want dark next turn because I'm almost certainly gonna use Shared Nightmare top when we enter the next room. Okay. We're gonna move, create dark, heal ourselves for 2. We're full anyway, we regen, but it is what it is. And we're going to attack with Frigid Apparition, consuming ice. We will use it for the stun here because I think this is safe no matter what, right? We're currently at an attack 6. This thing has 5 life and is wounded. So even if we end up getting a -1, it's 4 plus the 1 from the wound, so it dies. Yeah. So better just use the stun on the off chance that we miss because of rolling modifiers. Oops. We're in the wrong spots. Okay. So Frigid Apparition consuming ice for stun. Hitting bones number 10. Advantage. Okay, so +1 on our 6 is 7. Thing had 5 life, yeah, dead. No coins because someone. Okay. Then the Cragheart goes. We're going to do a move 4 jump with Meteor. Didn't need a jump in the end, but still safer. 1, 2, 3. Better to do one close to the door. We're going to attack bones number 3 using Heaving Swing. I'm going to consume the earth using the Tremor Blade. So we have an attack 5, wound, push 2. We will be using the push. So advantage. Okay. So our attack does 6, which means 5 actual damage, which puts it down to 3. And I'll just break both the rocks, I think. 1, I could push it, for example, to here, and then have the wound kill it, but I think breaking both the rocks just makes it easier for the Diviner to get through. Alright, both rocks broken, skeleton dead. Lose the regenerate. Or sorry, the strengthen. Okay, speaking of losing the regenerate, what's going to happen now? Living Bones comes, has +1 movement. Pretty sure it gets to hit both the Mindthief and the Diviner, right? With 5, yeah. How annoying. So Diviner and then Mindthief in that order. Attacks at -1, so attack 2s. 3 damage to the Diviner, take it. First, so no damage to the Mindthief. Just giving us more to do with Curative Flux, right? Alright. Just gonna blow my nose quickly, sorry. Okay, back. So we're up. This card has also been underwhelming, right? I mean, here, obviously, the fact that it's underwhelming, there's only one enemy left, is what it is, whatever. But it's more like, it's been in my hand at the end every time because I just haven't wanted to use it beforehand. Just muddling all enemies and creating dark is just not that exciting, even with a bunch of curses in their deck. I'd rather have damage or actual CC. Alright, anyway, let's begin by using the top of Hand of Destiny. We're going to consume that light. We get to stack 5 for all decks. Oh, that's gonna be our entire deck, huh? Alright, well, obviously this on the bottom. This, I think I want all these beforehand. But I'd rather have the dark again sooner. We don't actually have the attack which creates dark, because we don't even have many left. I guess we just have Seal Their Fate as an attack. Yeah, I think I'd rather get the dark sooner. Oh, like these two on the bottom, yeah. And then these on top. Right. Likely to put curses in their deck soon, so this doesn't matter so much stacking their deck. But I think I'll put all these things on the bottom and the -1s on top. I could not put the -1s on top and hope to draw to curses, but I don't, because I don't actually know what I'm drawing to here. I think I'd still rather just draw to -1. Fine. Okay. You don't have strengthen right now. How many attacks are we likely to make? Probably 3? No, 2. 2 rest cycle, and then we can strengthen ourselves again. Because we have a reasonable probability of finding our crit pretty soon, or crit and miss. So yeah, I think it makes sense to just put this and this on top and put the rest of these on bottom. Because again, we'll have Rock Slide plus like Blind Destruction and Brutal Momentum as our tops in the next room. I'm not going to be using Cataclysm, I think. So yeah, I can just put all these on bottom. I don't really want the +1s when I can get 2 +2s and then hope to advantage my way into a crit. Okay, and over here. Okay. This is so bad. This ever. I'm just gonna mess with advantage attacks. I'm actually gonna be making a lot of advantage, right? Yeah, I'm still strengthened. I'm gonna run in, hit 2 targets. I guess I might even make 3 attacks by running in, doing Shared Nightmare plus Dark Frenzy. So I'm gonna make a lot of attacks. So I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. All these can go on bottom. Again, muddled. So. And we'll just put this like this here. Yes, is it technically better to do this? Is the simply because of the possibility that we're like we put 3 cards on the bottom, so we're at a 1 out of 12 that would be a crit, and the +1 would add more there. This adds technically something more than this. Yeah, I guess that's true. But the thing is, this gives us a definite value, whereas this gives us an indefinite value for an attack. Like here, we know exactly when we're gonna do 3 damage, whereas here we know when we're gonna do 2 damage. I mean, so I guess we have still a definite value, just 1 lower. I'm not sure which is actually technically correct, but I guess I'll try this. Okay, and we're done. Oh, sorry, we're not done. At the bottom of Enfeebling Hex statement. So just spilled some tea. But I rather create, so dark doesn't matter. But I rather muddle this or perform move 2. No, muddling it changes nothing. I mean, I guess it does change something because it'll make more attack. No, I think I'd rather just perform a default move 2. 1, 2. And I'll long rest. I do care about which specific cards I get back now. Love to lose Curative Flux, but a bit longer. Just in that case, I think I might not even go to the treasure room. I'm really like dragging myself down, playing really on the maximum difficulty with a diviner who's like, kind of derping a lot. By virtue of like having to lug around a couple cards, it's just much. Okay, so Mindthief is definitely going into the next room. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I know exactly how we're doing that with this. This is going to give us poor initiative the following turn, but we can always Invis Cloak and then go late. Have to. 1 experience. Just getting as many attacks as possible. Even make one of these attacks here. You know the value. I don't know. All right. Craggedy Crag. We have a +2. So can we kill this Bones in the back? If we do like the 3 + 2 is 5, which is 4 damage here. And we do, what would we need? So this 4 damage, this would leave us at 4 life, and we have a +2 here, so we would need an attack 3 on it. So we like go back and kill it with this. I mean, we do have to actually kill this thing. It's gonna keep hitting us. So sure, let's just go deal with this stupid skeleton. Hoping it doesn't do its 12 to heal before we go. And then after that, that still leaves us with, so badly want to Rock Slide in the next room. Which, letting this thing attack is just annoying. I mean, it's not that annoying. It doesn't do that much damage, but I mean, it's not that painful, but it is annoying, I guess, is the kind of I want to make. I can wait a turn to Rock Slide. Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's go try to kill that thing. All right. So Mindthief's up first. We're going to... So, also, I wouldn't necessarily be taking this risk, but again, at least knowing that the cultist isn't going to summon for 2 turns is kind of helpful if there are cultists in this room, obviously. The risk is actually Night Demons smacking me. Spirit of Flux. Alright, so we're going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy to do a move 3, attack 3, range 3, create ice. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. We have strength and it doesn't matter which order we put these. Well, 1, 2 to there. We got one more movement if we want. Let's see what's in door number 2. So, yeah, all right. It's a fair question. I mean, thanks for asking. I think what we'll say is, so yeah, to anyone watching, so Thicklap wants to ask a question about 2 minis right now. This would be spoilers for people watching the VODs. So basically the best I can offer you, well, yeah, you can ask the question, and I'm not going to cut the recording because this is actually kind of annoying for me because I hate video editing, but I'm going to have to answer vaguely. So for anyone who's in chat right now, you're going to see the actual question. So I guess like fair warning, and I'll just like delete after I see the question and I respond to you, Thicklap. I'll just then remove your comment so then people can come back to chat in like, let's say 2 minutes and be fine. Otherwise, yeah, my answer is going to be a little bit vague because of the fact that there is the VOD as well. VOD doesn't see chat though; they just see the game itself. So as long as I mean, like you can ask the question, you'll see if you get an answer that helps you or not. If not, I can try to answer it a different way. All right, while I set this room, let's see, so we've got a trap wall back here. What do we have in this room? We've got 1 elite, 2 regular night demons, and 2 regular cultists. Okay, so we did have cultists again. No. Elite regular. Elite night demons are no joke. All right. So we know we're gonna flip here. It's this. No idea what we're gonna flip here. Would consume our dark. Unfortunately, we're gonna use it. Not creating a new one. Okay. I had. Okay, so I can't actually read this out loud. So I would say no. I would say that that would not break regen. Just like there are other instances in the game of things that don't count as damage. How can I describe this game? Isaac also said no. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. All right, so now I'm just going to quickly... I'll answer your question in a second. All right, yep. Here we go. So how can you describe this game? Maybe someone in chat can help you out with that. But, well, the tagline I would always use is it's a campaign-paced tactical dungeon crawler. If that makes any sense. So what a dungeon crawler means would be like something if you play like Descent or anything like that, which if you haven't played that, maybe a computer game version, I would say it's like kind of like Diablo, that sort of game. I mean, that's like a dungeon crawler. And campaign based, I guess, is also like Diablo, except it's like here it's party based. It makes sense, solo / co-op. Yes, it can be solo or co-op. So here I'm playing solo. Well, so I mean, the game is designed with the possibility of playing solo. It's just like a different version of solo, right? It's like, I mean, it's still just like, it would just be like playing like something like Divinity Original Sin solo, less like Diablo solo. Because, so when you play solo, so you have to have a minimum of 2 characters at all times. Technically, some people do make some variants where they play with only 1 character, but I wouldn't really recommend that. So because you have to have 2 characters, you do have to kind of play two-handed, because you play, like, control 2 characters at once. Normally, when you play co-op, most of the time, you'll just control 1 character, and other people will control characters as well. You can have up to 4 characters. Technically, again, there are variants with 5, but I also wouldn't recommend that. So the game is designed to be played with between 2 and 4 characters, and works well in all the cases. So here, in order to play solo, I'm actually playing 3-handed, controlling 3 different characters at the same time, which is a lot of mental upkeep, without a doubt. Generally, for newer people, I would recommend trying just playing solo with 2 to begin with, and then you can go from there. I play with 3 because I'm playing with a very support-y character who doesn't work, I think, as well in 2. But yeah, so here I'm playing on Tabletop Simulator. So if you have Tabletop Simulator, which I guess you probably do if you're checking Tabletop Simulator on Twitch, if you already have it, there are multiple Gloomhaven mods, which are free and excellent. I use this one because it fits my needs a little bit better. But for new players, if you just like type Google Gloomhaven fantasy or Gloomhaven tabletop simulator Gloomhaven fantasy setup, you'll get probably the most new player friendly mod. And then you can find out more information from the game itself, which is a physical board game as well, which has just been ported to TTS on like Board Game Geek, looking up Gloomhaven, or the Gloomhaven subreddit, which is a strong recommendation, and people are generally pretty friendly there. And yeah, I'd strongly recommend it. The game is amazing co-op and very, very fun in solo. I mean, it's the #1 ranked board game in the world, so. Yeah, it is definitely more user-friendly. Like I said, I use this mod, I prefer this mod, but I'm like a very advanced player, so like I know why I choose this one, but for a new player, I definitely recommend that one. Okay, so we have 1 more movement. Let's see, how much are these things moving? So 6 for the elite, 5 for the regulars. Yeah, they're always reaching us. So I think we just probably want to stop in the doorway, huh? We don't need to go any further than that, because it's ranged here and ranged at these. So the real question is, should we invis? Would allow us to avoid 2 attacks. The attacks are for -1s. Still not an insignificant amount of damage. So from elite, so this would be a 6 and 4. 10 total damage with us having 14 health. We got all these healing potions. I think that's fine. It's not fine, actually, because we're going so late next turn. They could go before us, and we would have played our 2 cards. We have no cards in hand. That would actually be disastrous. Better to go invis here, especially because we're going to go late next turn anyway. Just by going invis here, it makes it a lot safer. All right. But anyway, let's finish this stuff first. We make our attack 3, range 3 from Dark Frenzy, hitting Living Bones #4 here. So we have a +2. There are not many people playing on tabletop, so I join everyone who actually stream it. Oh, playing... Oh. You mean not many people streaming tabletop in general? Okay, so we get 3 + 3 is 6. This is 1 shield, so it takes 5 down to 3. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I think there aren't that many people who stream tabletop. Just a shame. Board games are growing. You just like 1 to 3 people on Twitch. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually really ever watched tabletop despite streaming it myself. Although more just because I don't really know the games. Half is Japanese, that's Chinese. The Asians. Well, it should really be Germans, right? They're the true kings of board games. Okay. So got a bit distracted. Yeah. So we're gonna consume the dark using the top of Shared Nightmare. This gives us attack 3, range 4, target 2, poison, curse. We're actually messing with their deck before they ever attack. Nah, I mean, then it didn't change anything. Do these on top. Still obviously worth giving the curses. So we're gonna hit 1 and 4 with this attack. So it's neither advantage nor disadvantage. We have advantage from the strengthen, but disadvantage for attacking night demons. Nothing else to use here yet. So again, we'll do 1 and 4. We don't have enough range at the elite, where the poison would be a little more valuable, but it's also just good to eliminate any of these. Okay, so here we go. So on 1 first. Okay, so our 3 is 6, and then on the other is 6. Beautiful. Down to 9. 9. They're both poisoned. There, and they get 2 curses. The last 2. Okay. Nice. And then, like I said, we're gonna pop our Invis Cloak. Invis in the way. Wanna wrap this? Did we take damage or something? No, we haven't taken damage. Yeah. Okay, we had taken damage, but then we got. No, it's not that we should have. It is. We should. It's gone. The Night Demons go. They can't do anything because they can't find focus because we have a wall in the door. Cragheart's up next. So we're going to use. Sucks that we're actually this far over. I wish I was 1 further to the left, but oh well. I don't have my boots. No. We're going to use Cataclysm to move 3 going to here. And then we're going to use the top of Kinetic Assault simply as back 4, hitting his bones. Get a +2, so our 4 becomes a 6. 5 actual damage, which kills off the bones. Okay. We're done. Cultists do nothing, can't find focus. Bones finally eliminated. Viner gets her long rest. Yes, I choose card to lose. Excuse me 1 second, sorry. Okay, well, good luck for the rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you do enjoy looking into the game. It really is excellent. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so what do we choose to lose here? I mean, again, I want to lose Curative Flux, but I'm going to keep playing with it for a little bit longer. Same thing with Deep Contemplation. I guess Deep Contemplation is actually good this turn, because I know it won't be a reshuffle, and we can potentially mess with the curse afterwards. So I guess it kind of changed decently into itself. Then we're like not moving and attacking, which really sucks, but I think that's still probably worth doing. And if someone creates an element for us, we can even do Hand of Destiny deck stacking again. Decent everywhere but us. We're attacking anyway. Yeah, so I guess we'll keep that. I want this combo still. Let's just get rid of Enfeebling Hex. Actually, this card sucks. These cards suck. I mean, it doesn't suck. Pretty mediocre for level 6 card. Feels worse than either level 5s by a significant margin after having played with it as well. Okay, we're going to go as late as possible on the Mindthief so that our Invis continues to wall the door. We are going to this to mess with some decks. Actually, messing with 2 decks wouldn't even be bad. We would still need an element for that. The Mindthief can give us an element by using this bottom. We don't necessarily want to do that, though. We can also use a mana potion to give an element. I mean, I guess we're just messing with decks. This is our life now. So we also want to go as late as possible, I think. Sucks is we don't have a lot of movement if we do that. We move to here. We do 1 damage to the Mindthief. Not so much. We get to drop not super meaningful rocks. But the enemies aren't clumped up, so Blind Destruction is actually just worse. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like this. Again, we just want to go as late as possible so that our obstacle wall, our invis wall, does continue to block the door and we don't get attacked. Okay, here goes. So we're going to get Dark from Night Demons. This is something else I considered. Hello, Caius Ruart. Welcome. Welcome on the last day of streaming. For a while. Asterisks. Okay, so the cultists go and do nothing because they can't find focus. The Night Demons go. Ah, wait a second. I forget this. Anyone in chat can help me? So, monsters always... I know we've gone over this with ECO before in the past. Monsters always create elements, even if they do nothing for their turn. They only do the consumption of elements if it's tied to something. Here it's tied to nothing, so I think they do still do this, even though they can't find focus and don't do anything. But I'm not 100% sure on this one. Does anyone know? Will it consume element and create, even though they can't find focus, so they don't like act for the turn? I think they do. I believe so. It's a little bit weird how all this is like. Well, it's not that weird. It's mostly intuitive, I guess, because whether they consume elements is tied to them actually doing the actions. Here, this isn't tied to anything. So as an element production, this would happen, but as an element consumption, that's not tied to anything. All right, hold on. When a monster's initiative comes up and the monster's consume or infuse an element as part of their ability card, do they consume / infuse an element on it? If a monster's element consumption is attached to another ability, like attack or move, and can't perform that ability, example, disarm or immobilize, is the element consumed? No. However, if the consumption allows the original ability to take place, it means the monster can. Doesn't really answer it. I think this does say, though, it does seem like if, because here it says if it's attached to another ability that it can't perform. Here it's not actually attached to any abilities. It's just attached to their turns. I'm pretty sure they do still do this, like I originally suspected. It's never 100% because it gets a little bit weird on stuff like this, but yeah, I believe this is correct. So this does nothing, all this does nothing, but they do consume our ice and create dark. Okay. Then the Mindthief goes. I guess we don't have to create dark with this anymore. Losing the ice actually loses us 2 damage, but I think that's still okay because we can use this top instead of having to use this bottom to create dark. Okay. So we're going to use, we shouldn't be strengthened anymore, actually, no we're not. We're going to use the bottom of feedback loop as a move 4 jump. So who do we want to actually hit? I guess we're going to place like rock here and here. So why don't we go here and hit this one. All right, so we'll move to there, burn this, and we're going to attack that one with Corrupting Embrace. So this is going to be attack 4, because it's already poisoned. Both of these, unfortunately, with disadvantage. Okay, so 4, that's 6 damage there. That's a really dead thing, because we just lose the rolling modifier, we still get a crit. The first is 6, it's down to 3, then the second time we do 8, so yeah, very dead. Oh, Mindthief. Night Demons thought their disadvantage would save them. Not this time. Not this time. Okay, so the Cragheart's up next. We're going to use the bottom Rumbling Advance. I guess we can use the actual Rumbling Advance rather than defaulting it, because it just lets us move 1 more. We're going to get Earth from the top anyway. Alright, so we go 1, 2, 3. 1 damage to all adjacent things. This doesn't matter. We're going to use the top of Rock Slide. This creates Earth as well, and we get to drop 3 rocks. We're going to go... I mean, I guess we could put a rock here instead. We can go like here and here, or we can just put 1 here. And then put 1 like here, which actually kind of blocks the cultists a little bit. Not sure if that's actually a good thing or not, blocking them though. Probably is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll replace the other rock. Probably just out of the way. Down here. Yeah, why not? So we get 2 direct damage to each of them. Not super exciting. Doesn't deform the battlefield that much, but it still does some stuff. Alright. So the Diviner's up next. We should have maybe a potioned light. It's too late for the Cragheart to do it. I mean, sorry, the Cragheart can't do it because we don't have our minor potion anymore. The Mindthief could have done it. We made it, maybe should have, because then we could have done both of these powered up. Because honestly, it is good to see both their decks, but I also like to stack 5 rather than stack 3. I guess maybe I just accept stacking 3 here. I think I'd rather have this powered up, because honestly, seeing the Mindthief and the Cultist decks here is both good. It's pretty rare that this happens, but finally, the stars may align occasionally. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it was actually correct to use the mana potion to get to both. It probably was, but I'm not sure. I do also kind of want to save my resources for when I actually have to fight the boss. We're still just kind of in the warm-up phase. But yeah, I think I'll just use my element for Deep Contemplation, actually. So we get to look at the top 2 cards of 2 monster ability card decks and put them back in any order using the bottom of Deep Contemplation, consuming dark. Up here. We again have no summons. It's interesting. I think I'd rather have them do this first and then this second, because the healing could actually do something here, whereas this will do nothing. And then after that, knowing they're not attacking is good. I mean, knowing 2 more turns of not summons is interesting. So, all right. So we'll put healing there. That, right? And then for you as well. So this is good to know because, yeah, if we have this first, we definitely want this before the shuffle. So this is the pretty obvious ordering, and like this, because now we know if we go after 35 and don't move next to them first, they won't be hitting us since they're not moving. And the fact that light would have given them curse doesn't matter at all because they're full curses anyway. All right. Yeah, this was, I mean, I've trashed this actions a lot. It's more just like, it's not that I don't think it can be good. It's just so rarely good. Here it was really good, but most of the time it's just not. It's too situational and it's too unreliable. It's like situational and unreliable, which is a bad combination. Here, like, we had the situation and we finally like had it actually work out. But yeah. All right. Anyway, Hand of Destiny we're going to use as well. Oh yeah, stacking 3 here would, I mean, stacking here wouldn't even matter because we got the crit. So yeah, I guess I'm fine with the fact that I stack 3. So here, stacking is actually doing nothing. Here, stacking is doing nothing. I could reevaluate my choices here, but no, they're fine. Here we're doing a little bit of something. Okay. So we're making disadvantaged attacks. Coming here is the thing. I think I want to do this, actually. I think I want to keep all 3 on top. This is going to give me a disadvantage attack for just a +1 next turn, but then the turn after that, if I strengthen myself, I can actually get a crit on one of these Night Demons, like a guaranteed crit, which is so good. So I think it's worth accepting the fact that we're going to take a just a +1 as our next attack, which is still decent. All right, here. Yeah, we'll put the 0 on bottom. I think 0 is the average damage for a deck with 10 curses in it. It's definitely lower than 0. Put the 2 curses on top, 0 on bottom. All right, didn't change too much overall here with our deck stacking, but still. All right, so what's next? So we want to go after, well, or make range attacks. Playing these 2 cards in the Cragheart, that's a given. We'll see what we do with them. Mindthief can actually just go ahead and take another long rest. So I wouldn't use our boots, but that's fine. What is the Diviner doing? This gives us some attacks. The cursing there doesn't actually matter because we don't actually add curses. They have no to add. And then we can just stun one of them afterward. That's probably fine. And worry about endurance potioning afterwards. Sure. We'll go after the Cragheart. This way, the Cragheart has flexibility to attack whichever target. Okay, there it goes. The cultists are first, -1 movement, so this is just 2. 2. Night Demon goes, does Bubkiss. Move. I think we consume for curse. Cragheart's up next. Yeah, we can actually do some great stuff here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the bottom of Blind Destruction, because this actually does more damage than Blind Destruction, since Blind Destruction splashing here isn't really good. I mean, for now I want to focus on the Night Demons, because I know that the cultists aren't even attacking next turn, whereas the Night Demons are going to attack next turn. So I'd rather kill the Night Demons now, because they're more of a threat. And Blind Destruction is actually more single target damage, because it's effectively like a 7, whereas this is just a 4. Assuming we can get into a position, which we can. So we're going to actually use Blind Destruction bottom, move 4, all allies and enemies adjacent to any hexes you entered during the movement suffer 2 damage. Great Earth, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 2 direct damage here, which also means the Diviner will actually just kill this, which is great. It means we're not going to do anything with the top. I guess we're just going to Endurance Potion again. And then 2 direct damage here, but also 2 direct damage to the Mindthief, which breaks her regen. That actually doesn't matter because we're long resting here, so we're going to heal the 2 anyway. Then we're going to use the top of Brutal Momentum to make an attack 3 targeting this one, and we're going to push. We are going to use the push, and we can actually push into this boulder because of the FAQ. So we'll still get the extra damage. So we do attack with disadvantage here. So make +2 and a +1, which means we just end up with a +1. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 4 direct damage, so we get 8 total, putting us down to 9. Again, 4 from the attack, and then twice we try to push and we can't, which is 2 direct damage because of brutal momentum. Okay. Then the Diviner goes, so we're going to use the bottom of Seal Their Fate to do a move 3, attack 2, range 3, curse. So 1, 2, 3 to here. The only thing in range is this Night Demon there. We're going to attack it. We attack with disadvantage, which means we flip both of these. It means we create dark, because disadvantage mean in this case with ambiguity means we just take the first result. And our attack was for 2, plus 2 there is 4, plus 1 from the poison is exactly 5, which was so beautiful. So we just eliminate this. We need to worry about stunning and visiting it. And then because we have nothing in range to actually use Dimensional Transfer on, we'll actually just Endurance Potion Dimensional Transfer back, which works out well because we have an odd hand size anyway. Perfect. And then we'll have it in the coming turns because we do know after this next turn for the cultists, we're going to have a 67% chance that they summon the following turn. Okay, so then the Mindthief gets her long rest. Should I bring back the Mind's Weakness here? It's actually a tough question because we're actually in pretty difficult fighting right now. I guess we're not in that difficult of fighting, right? We have a guaranteed crit next turn. We can give ourselves some endurance. 441. Yeah, let's bring back Mind's Weakness. It does give us an extra turn, which I think is worth having. What are we losing? Sun is still good. Certainly still want good attacks. I guess I don't care about my invis shenanigans so much anymore because it's going to be a boss fight soon enough. And I've already used my cape anyway. I mean, I still have the invis bottom thing, which honestly maybe it'd be better to get rid of this. It's kind of one of those two cards either way. I guess this actually also does just give us a move 4 because we didn't keep Cranium Overload. So yeah, it's actually probably better to just get rid of Phantasmal Killer. Again, keeping Phantasmal Killer obviously to start just executing these cultists would obviously be better, but we're not going down that road. It's a dark, fortunate road. Alright, so I'm actually going to short rest on the Cragheart here, even though I would like to get my boots back, because I really do need the Cragheart's contribution to help me kind of deal with things in this room. Before we get into still having too many enemies around, which are also summoning, etc. Okay. I don't love losing that, but we've got mostly good cards anyway. Okay. So what? And if only the Diviner had a way of attacking. Fisher. I want to keep this stun for next turn because that's when they're most likely to. What am I even doing this turn? Not a whole heck of a lot, huh? Here. Thing. That's just this card again. Every time, right? Oh, sorry, and the Mindthief got her long rest, which I can spill over to. This card just sucks. It really does. I would have been so much happier to have lost this. Just constantly a dead card in my hand. The problem is our disarm combo isn't looking very good anytime soon because of the fact that they're not attacking this turn. I guess we could just disarm combo this into here for this turn. Like place disarm rift and then pull. That actually does work, but I'd also kind of just like to kill this thing this turn. Sort of the plan. If we... How much do we need actually to kill it? So if we strengthen ourselves and we attack with anything, we know we have a guaranteed crit. At the same time, getting a guaranteed crit on a blind destruction on these cultists is really good. What if we do just do that combo? I'll let the Mindthief kind of do work on that. Then I don't actually need to strengthen myself. I let them heal first. I guess they're going to heal that. This is still so good, right? I consume the earth, which turns blind destruction up to a 6, and then I crit on it, which gives me 12 direct damage in both cultists. Because this one will move like to there. Oh, I guess if I don't move, I won't be able to pull this into a disarm, though, is the issue. I can't stun it from where the Mindthief is. We could compass it. Oh! If we compass it to here,
then our direct damage actually kills it. Well, not completely, because it's going to get healed. What happens if we do compass it to here on our... I mean, so let's see what happens. These cultists go... We actually don't even need to compass it, right? Because the cultists go before us at 31. They have -1 movement, so they have 2 movement. So this one will go 1-2 to there, and then this one will go 1-2 to there. We can actually just attack this cultist. They'll both heal this for 3, so 3 and 3 is 6 total, which puts it up to 15. It doesn't matter, right? No, it does, because we're doing a 12, so it'll be down to 3. So we can actually just use this to stun it for this turn. We won't have the stun for the next turn, but the cultists are going to be so low because of what we're doing for the Cragheart here. I think this is worth. In that case, I guess this is default move 2. 40 initiative is convenient when we know they're going at 41. Just for any other card. Alright. So accordingly, I guess if the Mindthief moves to here and hits this first, that's also not bad. Then this one there. I know, then this one won't move up. That's not good. We need the Mindthief, I guess, after. So pass and hit. Also do that, though. This. Yeah, this worked. Yeah, we'll have to use our boots, but that's fine. Because we'll probably long rest again soon anyway. Let's set up the Mind's weakness and do an attack which presumably should kill whatever we attack. Okay, go. So cultists are up first, and they have -1 movement. 1-2, 1-2. Again, knowing what the enemies are going to do here is really nice. Wait, we can actually just go there. Yeah, because they didn't make it all the way there. Anyway, is really nice. It's just too hard to pull off actually getting to know. Once we do know, it is very good, but it's just not consistent. All right, so that's that. So now the Diviner goes. We're due to bottom of Curative Flux is default move 2. We go into this coin. And we're going to use the top of Dimensional Transfer, creating a new dark, and stunning and invising Night Demon. I'm not going to place it because the Night Demon goes immediately afterwards, just loses its stun and invis. Okay, so then the Cragheart's up next. So we're going to use the bottom of Brutal Momentum. Assuming Earth, I guess I can just use a potion and basically one-shot everything here, right? So we use the bottom of Brutal Momentum, consuming Earth. So this gives us +2 on our next range attack, plus Blind Destruction. So this gives us a 6. I could kill everything in the room, but the question is if that's actually necessary. I think I'd rather... I mean, I think I should... Should I even use a potion? Doing 12 puts this to 3, this to 3, this to 3. Mindthief goes and attacks one thing for 3, which kills it, and then the next turn presumably can attack the other thing and stun wound the other thing. Plus we have our attack next turn as well. Yeah, I think I can save the potion for the boss. I mean, potion is undoubtedly very good here. Like if I use the major potion, I just kill everything, which is just glorious, right? But I don't think killing everything is necessary, is basically my point. I'd rather save it. All right, so we make an attack 6. We're going to attack cultist number 2, I suppose. Doesn't really matter. So we attack cultist number 2 with our attack 6. We flip a crit. Turns that into an attack 12. Dex stacking with Blind Destruction. Pretty good. 3 down to 3 down to 3. Okay. So what is the one card left in their deck other than that? It's going to be like one of these 20-something attack moves, I think. Like that, I believe. And then 2-something. All right. Anyway, the Mindthief's up next. We're going to do the bottom of Feedback Loop as a move 4 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we would be disadvantaged attacking this, I'd honestly rather just hit and kill this turn, because this way we're not disadvantaged. We're more likely to get our +3 or +0. So we attack that, the cultist adjacent to us, with the Mind's weakness, taking an attack 3. It would have worked either way, but this is still fine. Okay. That, and that's the end of the round. So for us now, so we don't have ice or anything like that. Do really want to go early, but this basically as early as we can go. And I guess making 2 attacks on the demon is probably just the safest line. We stun wound this one, we finish this one with these 2 attacks. So we play these 2 cards and we'll see what they do. Spoiler alert, probably not a whole lot. And I guess I'll save the advantage for when they enter the next room. We don't really need it here. I could bless someone, it's just not necessary. I guess, so the cultist should take 1 damage, plus 1 from the wound and stun, or plus 2 more from wound stun, so this should die. So both, the Mindthief actually should kill both of these. I don't really need to help. So I guess I can play this, and play like this. I can default one of these for Endurance Potion anyway, / then heal and bless, or maybe not. Depends on what happens. Now the summon. Ooh! Oh! Oh, you dick. Oh, by 1 initiative, huh? Could have beat that by going at 7. I thought that 8 would be early enough. I forgot about this. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, it's just prolonging the inevitable, but it is still annoying. Alright. Just because we created the dark? Yeah, by stunning last turn. Yeah, it's annoying. Alright, well, whatever. It is what it is. So, you're going to consume this. You're going to attack the Mindthief. You're going to flip a miss. A curse, sorry. So this does no damage. But you consume the dark. Invisible. The card has ruined so many plays. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Mindthief's up next. So at this point, stunning wounding this thing isn't necessary. I'd rather just go. So in that case, I'm just going to use the bottom first edge as default move 2. I'm just going to move here. Even though I don't need coins anymore on the Mindthief, I'm still not neglecting to pick them up. I mean, we're still RPing a Mindthief, right? And we're going to use Corrupting Embrace to attack the cultist. Always kill it. Alright, even the first one does. Go. Want to make sure we have there. So Cragheart's up next. Yeah, we're going to use the bottom Kinetic Assault as default move 2. We're going to Endurance Potion it back because we have an odd hand size. Seems to make sense. Here. I think we're just going to go in for the boss at this point. We spent a lot of time, and honestly, we're not having as much fun. Like, the Diviner being so derpy with the cards we've taken is just, yeah, honestly, creating a less fun party. So I'm kind of priced into just ending it. Also, I am kind of maybe a little bit afraid that because the Diviner is kind of contributing so little, that there is a possibility that we would actually exhaust if we tried to go down here, do everything in this room first, and then go up there. I'd rather just go face the boss. And the end of the campaign, so realistically, I can't motivate myself enough to care about going to get the chest. Okay, so then I use Rumbling Advance to heal. Healing her actually does some healing, but I don't really care about her health. I think I'd rather just put a Bless in the Mindthief deck. Alright, there you go. Enjoy Mindthief. Plus we know we have a crit coming up, which will tell you if we could ever make an attack for any amount. Okay, Diviner's up next. To do anything with any of our cards. We're going to do a default move 2 to here. And we're just going to use the top of Void Snare to place a Rift. Rift should actually matter for anything, but why not? Rift there. Occupy Hex. Cultists have been eliminated. Long rest. Wait for this thing to pop back up, which is pretty annoying because our initiatives aren't so late here. I guess this the turn I enter the room. I mean, probably this combo even. Yeah, doing these two things this turn. My latest possible initiative, and I guess setting up the Strengthen and the Dark for next turn seems good. Hoping that the thing goes after me. We can kind of guarantee it goes after us. And then we'll just like finish attack. Yeah. Alright, what are you up to? Sure, 4. There you go. So you're gonna create Dark. You're gonna go to attack you're gonna lose your invis and attack the Mindthief. Care that you attack us, because we know another curse. No damage. Alright, Mindthief up. I think I'd rather strengthen myself first. So I'm gonna move in place with Empathetic Assault. I guess I don't need to create Dark either, so I'll create Ice. Potentially use that. I think I will, but I don't need to create Earth because. And I guess I could create Light to allow the Diviner to deck stack and me. Yeah, actually, I think I want that more because I know I'm using this top next turn. Sure. Yes, there's a possibility. I mean, we actually are about to go boss fight, so maybe it is better to use this top next turn. Getting more single target damage. We don't know if there'll be multiple enemies in the room or not. If there are multiple enemies, this could be better. Let's see, is the boss immune to poison and curse? Boss is not immune to poison, actually. So no, getting poison on the boss would be really cool. So I'm definitely using this. I'm using this top next turn anyway, then I don't care about having ice. I'd rather actually not create ice with this, and I would rather actually create light, because then Diviner can use that for one of her cards while I use Dark for my card top. Okay. So yeah, we move in place. We're now strengthened. And then we'll use the top of Frigid Apparition to attack the Night Demon. Their advantage or disadvantage. Hate to draw that just before the boss, but so be it. Whatever, at least it's dead. Okay, so then the Cragheart goes. We're going to use Rock Slide again just to Great Earth 1, 2. 1, 2. There. There. Lining the corridor. And really the end of the campaign. And I don't actually have boots, so I think I will not grab the coin. Stay where I am. Focusing on winning here. Alright, I need to go refill my drink one last time, and then we'll head on into the last room. Be right back. Alright, back. So, let's finish this campaign off. Alrighty. So we got a long rest here. 2 and choose a card to lose. Is the boss immune to disarm? He is. I guess we don't really want our disarm rift anymore. I think she can summon though. We can't see the things here. Summon living bones, setting living corpse. Okay. So we could still CC those things, but I don't know we care about that much. At that point, honestly, well, this still can give us good initiative. I mean, I guess this is an AoE stun for the last round. Sure, she can't be stunned, but I suppose the things she summons can be. Yeah, this bottom actually can be useful in the last room. Again, I know that this loss is powerful for when we like for the last room scenario. So hold on a second. This allows us to interact with a boss deck. I think before we couldn't do that with Buried in the Path. Not, yeah. Alright, this does actually... Alright, so that's interesting. Although it doesn't really change much what she does, but that actually does give some additional potential to this card. Problem is still always the reshuffles and everything, but yeah, this makes this card better on boss fights. Again, here I don't actually think I care enough to use it, but... Alright, so what are the things I actually want? I want to attack as much as possible. I have just this to attack with, basically, at this point. And attack 1 here, not what I want. So unfortunately, my crit is really just a +2. Yeah, not exciting. I mean, the sooner I deck stack, probably the better. We can't deck stack before the Mindthief goes on, though. But I guess deck stacking for the Mindthief's following turn is probably more valuable anyway. Except with how many cards we flip, there's a decent chance of flipping a shuffle, which is annoying. As for us, what are we up to here? Probably just running with this, attacking with this. Yeah. Okay. A little bit underwhelming, but we'll probably just short rest early after that. Does 2 movement, no boots, but with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So if she's on the very back, we don't reach. Is it better to not strengthen self then? If we deck stack as well, we can potentially want to use the top of this. Yeah, so actually maybe we do this. And we could actually potentially use this top if we can get a crit to the top. The deck stack. So I think I do want a deck stack. Goes after is fine. Yeah, because after gets us 1 card deeper, unless we get the crit as the first card, but I don't think that's a problem. Alright, so we do like this, and I guess this, just these 2 again. Hoping the boss doesn't do a reshuffle. Alright. Oh, so we had to choose a card to lose. Yeah, I think just getting rid of Fount at this point doesn't really matter. Okay. And so these. Goes. So Mindthief's up first. We're going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy. We have to actually, no, we do want the poison. Because then we're not going to be able to do 2 decks. But I don't think I care about 2 decks. I'm sure there'll be 2 types of enemies. So Dark Frenzy. Move 3, attack 3, range 3, creating ice. 1. Tough to read. I don't think it really matters to explain your specials. Jixera summons 2 normal living bones for 2 characters, 1 normal and 1 elite living bones for 3 characters, or 2 elite for 4. So 1 normal, 1 elite. Because we always play with the rules of 3, even though we're playing 4-player setup. This is the same as boss special 1, except the living corpses are summoned instead of living bones. Okay. We'll each time have 1 regular, 1 elite when she summons. Something that matters much. Oh god, there are a lot of enemies in here. And she's in the back row. Okay. Jeez. That's a lot of enemies. Wow. This isn't close to over. Although we really just have to kill her. So we're really just going to Zerg her down. Alright, so we've got 1 elite, 2 regular corpses. Yeah, I'm definitely happy that I didn't go for the treasure chest room, because I think there's actually a real chance I could have lost. This is a lot more fight in the last room than I expected. How much health does she have, though? So she's only 66 health. Not so much. I can do that in a few turns. You have to get to her, though. It's been a while since I've done this scenario, so that's why I didn't really remember what was in the last room. A lot of boss fights do have just the boss in the last room, which is kind of why I thought that. Okay, and so then the 2 regular bones as well. There. There. Alright. Let's draw. Please don't reshuffle. Alright, that's good. This is fine. This is actually maybe a bit problematic. Can't invis anymore. Give her boots. Now that is very problematic, actually. Getting immobilized sucks. Won't be able to go hit the boss the following turn. That's like the worst thing they could do, huh? Them attacking really doesn't matter much. It's not going to lose this damage. I think no invis cloak. Can't walk through the traps because they stun. Okay. We have 2 movement left. 1, 2. And I guess I am going to use my boots because I certainly want to get in range of the boss. Make a stack on her as well. So I'll use my boots as well. Go to here. I like my attack 3, range 3 with strengthen on Jixera. Okay. So 5 damage there. I'll do my other attacks as well. So I'm going to consume dark, creating ice. I already created ice anyway. Do attack 3, range 3, target 2, poison curse. I'm only going to get 1 curse. I'm going to target Jixera. And I guess one of the corpses is probably easier to kill than the bones. It can theoretically like help to clear out some space, maybe. Because they're going before the Cragheart. Wait, the Cragheart also going to get immobilized? Dear God, this is actually awful. Yeah, them going before the Cragheart, I didn't even think about that. This is really bad. There's no, I mean, we've already gone here and attacked, so we can't change it. Fortunately, I mean, this will go to here, but then this one will go to here and immobilize the Cragheart. That's really annoying. God, these corpses. Oh, that sucks. All right. Yeah, this is going to be much more difficult than I thought it would be. Yeah, so I guess we do want to hit this one because this will be the one here, which is kind of like blocking the door. So boss first, and so Jixera first, and then corpse number 5. Both these advantaged. Ouch. That's not what we want. And a reshuffle, so our deck stacking sucks. This is a lot of bad stuff this turn. Alright, so we did 5 damage total here. And we did 4 damage total here. We give them 1 curse. Poison there. And poison there. So there's something I can do, there's not. Alright, living bones go. They shield and heal. This isn't my living corpses doing worst thing. So this one will go to here. Mindthief is definitely mobilized and muddled. I wish I'd kept the invis thing around. Move forward jump now. And this one will go to here, and again, mobilize and muddle. Cragheart. Okay. So then the Cragheart's up. So we're going to make an attack here. Range 3 with Massive Boulder, I guess. No, I think I'd rather just not be disadvantaged. Oh, I guess I'm muddled anyway, so it doesn't change anything. Yeah, I'm gonna use Massive Boulder to attack corpse adjacent to me. Advantage attack on it. Alright, get 4 damage. Down to 7. Great Earth. The bottom meteor I'm doing nothing with. If I want to compass one of them to a trap to stun. Also clear a path for the Mindthief eventually. I don't know how helpful that is. No, because something's going to run up. I think I'd rather do it the same turn I'm going to have the Mindthief move. She's also not going to move up. I'm actually not going to be able to reach her next turn because I don't have a Boots of Striding, and so when I move forward jump, I could compass the one next to me, but this sucks because I'm moving it out of the way, but not even... I don't think that's correct either. This is actually really bad. Alright. So the boss goes. So special 1 is Summoning Bones. Not going to bother writing summon for them because I'm pulling it. She doesn't move either, which really sucks. Love for her to move. Normally she would. Yeah, because she actually could find focus, so she would move. Doesn't with this. That actually sucks, because her moving up would have been very good for me. I guess I'll get to see what she's going to do next turn, which is maybe helpful. Reshuffle here sucks so badly. I really need that deck. Alright. So now the Diviner goes. So do I want to mess with 2 deck or 5 cards deep? I think 5 cards deep is better. My deck doesn't really matter, but yeah, I'm going to do 5 cards deep. So let's begin by using the top of Hand of Destiny. Assume Polite. Look at the top 5 cards of all. How many ends we want on bottom? Yeah, I'll put the crit on bottom, even if it's only +0. Oh, I was actually... Oh, no, I did add the curse. I think I'll even put the -1 on bottom. Most of these things hit so hard that I don't really want to take the attack. The -2 is very good, but beyond that, I think I'm not on board for taking. I think I'd rather have the -2 first and then the curses. First of all, because these enemies poison, so the following attacks are higher, but also because there's a better chance that the skeletons attack first, where I'd rather have the -2, and then I'd rather have the curse for the living corpses attacks, which are likely to come later in the round. So we'll just put these 3 on top. Second Mindthief deck does nothing, so we're getting a reshuffle. I really want to find a crit here. I think I'm on board with just digging for crits. I suppose... Oh, so I'm not... I don't have these anymore, actually. Got a while till we deck stack again. We've got at least a couple turns, but I can strengthen myself this turn. I'll attack on the one in the door. I'm not getting any progress on beating this boss, though, is the problem. But for now, I don't have anything else I can really do. Would actually make her move. So if I did reshuffle and I got Meteor back, I can move to here, and then I could compass her to here, and then I would actually be able to start hitting her. I could actually even compass her into this trap, so then the Mindthief could hit her. I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then compass her to there. Problem is I have to go before the Mindthief to make this work, but also before the skeleton. I guess before the skeletons doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get to see their deck. Yeah. So in that case, do I want a +1? Like have a guaranteed +1 at least? Start? Because I'm surely... In that case, I'm playing Meteor and some sort of a top attack. Probably like maybe 1/4 top. Yeah, I think I'll keep a +1 just to get a guaranteed hit, and I'll put the rest on the bottom. I continue to dig for crits. By then, I could either strengthen myself or have her deck stack me again. Alright, deck stacking there does nothing. Again, we'll just, yeah, +1 and on the bottom. Okay. So then that's the deck stacking. So then we use the... Oh, but I'm not going to get to see that many because I only get to see one here. I'm going to use Deep Contemplation to look at the top 2 of a deck. It's going to be the boss deck for sure. Alright. That's interesting to know. I have this and this. So special 2, move -1. So she does move, but she summons. We definitely don't want her summoning anytime sooner. The longer we get towards the summon, the better. So we did not actually change the order. We do know the cards now. This is 36. So move. She has how much movement? So it's move 5, attack 5. So she'll go just to there. Still does allow us to compass her next to the mic. We're going to be in the very center of the room. So then we'll compass her next to the Mindthief into the trap. She doesn't get stunned. That. But whatever. The important thing is getting her next to the Mindthief, and then we'll do 1, 2, 4 to there. Meteor. Yeah. Alright. It works. So short rest here, short rest for the Mindthief. Not bring back Klein's weakness all the time. So much. Already poisoned. This is multiple attacks. Okay. But this is a big attack as well. I really do want my strengthening because I'm muddled. Yeah, I think I just stick. I think I roll looping, even though that is one of my better cards here. So we have ice as well, which is nice. We can take attack. So we definitely want to strengthen ourselves to get rid of this muddle. We need to go after. Oh, but she goes at 36. If we go before her, that's fine as well. We need the Cragheart to go before us, so that basically means we have to play this into this. This is 29 initiative. This can work. Then the Cragheart is going to go at like 23 initiative and attack her with what? So much better to get this when we know I have a crit. Pushing isn't so good here. It's not next to a wall yet. Also don't want to push her away from the Mindthief. Would it just be an attack with Kinetic Assault? Pretty underwhelming. Do 6 damage to her? It's so low. Otherwise we can do 10 by using Blunt Force here. 10 good enough? This is a loss. I'm not going to be able to strengthen myself. How soon again am I going to be able to deck stack? Not so soon. Yeah, actually, we probably will short rest after this. No, because actually, Bird of Flux next turn is really good. We can basically CC the entire room. I think that's actually worth doing. We like have to move in plus stun one thing this turn, and then the following turn we do this bottom with this top. I guess just punch. So it's gonna be a couple turns until we deck stack. Yeah, all right. Let's just Blunt Force then. I think we don't have the time to wait to try to get a crit. All right, here goes. So like I said, we're gonna do this to move in an attack, and this to stun non-boss enemies. And that's fine. 45. That's fine. Okay. So Cragheart's up first. We're gonna use the bottom of Meteor to do a move or jump. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. Then we're going to use the top, or sorry, no, then we're going to use our compass. During your turn, force an enemy within range 5 to perform move 2 with you controlling the action. Okay, so I'm going to move you here. You walk into the trap and trigger it, but you're immune to stun, so it doesn't do anything. Fine. Oh, we're not going to get the any element here because we're immobilized. That's a little bit annoying as well. Then we're going to use the top of Blunt Force. We're going to consume Earth. Also just going to blow everything here, I think. I could also just hit something else with this by using the hammer. I guess I might as well, huh? Yeah, sure. Why not? They're the battle axe. So we consume Earth with Blunt Force. This gives us an attack 8. We're also going to use Power Potion and Power Potion. So this turns us into an attack 11. And we're going to fork it using the battle axe. Because who knows, eliminating, I mean, we've got a possibility of eliminating one enemy. I'm going to take the +1 on the boss. Even though obviously like I could get a crit on the boss, I could also get a miss, and this would be disastrous. And if I get a crit here, it still eliminates the corpse, which is good. Oh, she's not even going to be able to get into the room. You can't get past this stupid thing. Oh, that's annoying. I guess she's actually just going to end up attacking this with the crit, so actually that'll kill it. Yeah, that's fine. Annoying though. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so we'll do boss first, and then corpse. So the boss, we get a +1. So again, we had an 8, +3 from our potions is 11, +1 from our modifier is 12, +1 from poison on the boss is 13. This puts the boss down to 48. Big chunk of change. Here we go, Cragheart. Okay. I have no other things to expend at this time. So then the Mindthief goes. So we unfortunately cannot move. So we can't create an element. We do get to do a heal to self. Actually heal us, but does strengthen us. Get rid of these now. I still have them for this turn, so I'm neither advantaged nor disadvantaged. Hope that's good enough. I'm going to use Frigid Apparition, which is in attack 4, +2 from Mind's weakness is 6. Plus I'm going to consume the ice using the Frigid Blade. 8. I mean, I could be hitting multiple things, but I don't care enough about that. I'd rather be getting more damage on the boss. I mean, I guess... Let's see. 7. Maybe minor plus punch and kill it. Oh, sorry. We've got the second attack from the Cragheart on the corpse. Almost forgot. So again, on our base attack was 11, and we get +2 here, so 13. Puts this down to 2. Right, that works. So her range attack can actually finish this. We can't really hit anything else meaningfully, so I think that's fine. We don't really want to put curses into the decks anyway, because we know we have 2 upcoming curses. Pretty good right now. So I could Battle Axe to hit like this Living Bones as well. I mean, I guess there's no real reason not to. My biggest attack, I could try to wait till I'm not, like, till I'm actually advantaged next turn, but I don't think that's correct. Alright, let's do Battle Axe, why not? So... Alright, by a Canary, we've got a bit of a conundrum here, right? So we're hitting both of these. So we'll only have the Frigid Blade bonus on 1, because it's only on a single attack. So on the boss, we have 4, 6, 8, +1 from the poison. So we have an attack 9 on the boss, neither advantage nor disadvantage. And then we have just an attack 6 on this bones. Which one do we do first? So the rule is to put the important one in the middle, but here there's no middle, and the boss really matters. Like the corpse, or hitting the skeleton is more of just like a bonus because we have a stun and a disarm rolling modifier in our deck, and technically a muddle as well. So it's kind of like, why not? The battle axe isn't doing anything else for us, but it does mean we actually have to flip twice here, and one of them really, really matters. So should it be the first? I guess we should do the boss first, because then it would be the same as if we hadn't used the battle axe. Then we won't regret the fact that like we used the battle axe, right? All right, so we'll do boss first and then the bones. The boss. Oh, that one curse again. Oh my god, that is so bad. All right, then bones. Yeah. So +1 on the bones. 6 turns into 7, which is actually 6. Ouch, we really needed that damage. It was an attack 9, so with a +1 it would have been 10. A lot of damage we're missing out on the boss. All because of the one curse. God, that's insane. That stupid muddle, that was so painful. Although, I mean, I guess it didn't matter because we got the rolling +1. Even if we'd been an advantage there, we still would have missed. Ugh. All right, so we're done. So now the boss goes, and the boss is just going to attack the Cragheart. So the boss flips a -2, attack normally for 5, damage the Cragheart. All right, the Diviner's up next. So we're going to begin by using a move 3, attack 2, range 3, etc. We're going to move here because it's the furthest we can move. We'll make our attack 2 on this corpse. Not going to get the crit here. The ordering sucks, but there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Yeah, nothing you can do about that. All right, so we're going to make our attack. Unless no, because we need this to hit the. Yeah, we want to kill this. All right. So we attack that, which unfortunately wastes our crit. Kill this. Bones. Drop a coin, and then we have the top of dimensional transfer. I can stun and viz, or I can just punch. If I punch, I'm attacking for 2, +1 from the poison is 3. 4, 5, 6, +1 is 7. So this is actually, I guess, worth it. I use all my power potions, not on the boss, but it does eliminate an attacker, and it does allow me to keep my stuns for afterwards. I'm still not in the room to use my AoE stun either, which kind of sucks. I need to get in the room, so I really need to get rid of this. I'm actually going to have to rest a turn early because, yeah, I mean, this isn't working right now. Pilot range 3. No, it's missing a lot of things, I think. Yeah, alright, whatever, I'm doing it. Let's use the top of dimensional transfer as a default attack 2, plus I'm going to use my minor and major power potions. So 2, 3, 4, 5, +1 from the poison is 6. We flip a +1, 7. This is also. The corpses made this room a lot more difficult than it was supposed to. Their first turn. Create a lot of problems. Okay. Potion for an element. We didn't get to create an element there. Good as creating ice. Or earth. I'm sure we should potion for an element. Ice or earth are kind of the same. I guess we're strengthened for next turn, whereas the Cragheart's not, so it's safer there. Alright, let's create ice. Or if we're going to deck stack next turn, maybe we want dark or light. We kind of have to just like, yeah, short rest, move into the room and deck stack. Alright, so let's actually not take the ice, let's create dark. No, let's create light. I don't think they can use light's cooler. Original at least. We make our summon? For any reason to? Like go attack a corpse, which sort of sucks, but I guess we're not really getting a better opportunity to use it. Sure, let's use the summon. Okay, go. Okay, so living bones go. So this one's gonna attack Cragheart there. This one's just gonna no. This one can actually. How much movement do they have? They're just doing standard stuff. Yeah. This one is actually going to here. And none can hit their target plus one. So this one, 1, 2 to terror, 1, 2 to here's our choice. Alright, so the elite's gonna attack Cragheart and then Mindthief. No, these are both curses. No damage. And then we're gonna have Mindthief, Cragheart. They're all gonna be attack 3. There's the Mindthief, damage the Cragheart, damage the. And then the only remaining corpse goes. Ooh, God, I've rather seen a miss here. This is actually painful. So it makes an attack 1, so normally 6 plus 1, 7 on the Mindthief. Hurts. 6. Okay. 5, and we are poisoned. We can use one heal on the other, but still not excellent. Not excellent at all. Alright. So we have to short rest early here on the Diviner because we need to get deck stack and presumably our move attack back. Alright, losing. It's fine. Not what we care the most about at this point. We're going to play move attack plus dex stack, and then the following turn we're going to stun everything. We know the boss is going 11, doing special 2 here. Involve summoning. Can actually only summon one thing. That still does summon that. You have Rock Slide? Rock Slide does prevent the summon. Can we wait till after the deck stack? Yeah, that's maybe okay. I mean, it eliminates one more enemy from the room. I guess does that enemy matter that much? Because next turn the Diviner's going to stun everything in the room. Yeah, it probably still has some value. Only 2 direct damage. Like, oh no, but this goes too late. Oh, we can't even go before 11. Never mind. Never mind. Getting a rock behind it would also have been good for the... We're never really going to be able to do meaningful push. What can we even do here? Just punch a sizer, basically. This does 2 direct damage, and this is an attack 4. Yeah, this looks like what we can do. I don't want to move away. I want to stay on top of her. To limit the amount of space summon in. Alright, so the Mindthief, I guess stunning something else this turn is not necessarily a bad thing, like especially that corpse. And then what am I even attacking her with? Nothing very good, huh? This can be a bigger attack, but it's also a loss. We get any other conditions on her? She can be immobilized. That's not easy for us to do. She can be bubbled. I mean, for now we should play this bottom, I guess. And so this top sort of sucks. We don't have an element of any sort for ourselves here. I guess I can maybe set up a good top of this next turn by potentially getting both elements. I'm not sure. This creates ice. Yeah, I guess I'm just doing this because then I can have a good initiative with this. Not that it matters much. Default attacking here, which is pretty unexciting. God, missing that 10 last turn is so costly. Alright, anyway, here goes. Same stuff, standard stuff. Yeah. So we're up first on the Mindthief. Want to let this attack, so you have to stop that. So we're going to begin by using Perverse Edge, I guess. I don't even know which one I'm going to do first. Yeah, sure, Perverse Edge first. Hitting this corpse, so it's neither advantage nor disadvantage. God. How do I always choose wrong? It's insane that my last episode of the last campaign is going to end like this, with me always making wrong ordering choices. Well, maybe we'll get a crit, who knows. Alright, so 1, and we just got 4 more, right? So, yeah, because it was neither advantage nor disadvantage, so we got 5 damage here. Makes it down to 20. Stunning and wounding. That thing just hits too hard. I'm just going to go ahead and use both my healing things now. So I use the minor healing to remove the poison, then the major healing to heal for 5. Okay, now I'm going to attack Jexera, attacking with the top of Feedback Loop as a default attack. So default attack 4. Advantage. Alright, well we did get a... That's so mean. Alright, whatever. Still good. God, if we'd gotten that the previous time. Our deck is just... Oh my god, and the deck stack fails again. Oh, so frustrating. It's been so many times that anytime we play the deck stack, we get a reshuffle with a Mindthief. This is insane. Not even that probable. Alright, whatever. I mean, it's still pretty good. So our attack 4 plus 1 from the poison is 5. Crit 10. So we do get our 10 to Jexera, just 1 turn too late. But maybe still okay. We'll see. Alright, so special 2 goes. She summons an Elite Living Corpse over here. Not going to set its health. Not bothering. Oh, whatever. She's no space to summon regular, and then she attacks the Mindthief. Curse. Nope. This is an attack at +2, so normally 5. Here, 7. Too much damage. Yeah. Alright, we'll just lose this to this. Because we're going to take a bunch of attacks from the skeletons as well this turn. So we can't afford to take a 7 there. because otherwise we get 2 attacks from skeletons, and each one of them normally, I mean, yeah, we could get a curse, which we'd hope for, but if we don't get curses, we have to lose cards for both skeleton attacks. We end up losing 2 cards rather than 1, because the skeletons hit for 3 and 4 rather than 7, which is the combined 7, so better just lose a card now. And it doesn't matter so much to have Shared Nightmare at this point. We already did what we needed to do with it. Sucks. Alright, so now the Cragheart is up. We're going to use Blind Destruction. Oh, hold on. So the Mindthief, sorry. Oh, dude, that's so frustrating. We were supposed to use this potion to create Earth, just to add 2 more to the Cragheart's attack. It's frustrating. Alright, whatever. I mean, we really should have used this potion this turn, obviously. Really frustrating. I mean, or we could have used it for Dark for ourselves for next turn. I mean, regardless, we always should have been using this here. There's no reason to not use this, but we just got distracted, and now we've already flipped for her, so it's too late. Alright, we move in place, create Earth. Does 2 damage to everything adjacent to us. And then we use the top of Kinetic Assault. No Earth, so we're just making an attack 5 on the boss. Alright, so 3 damage. 33. Sucks. Okay, then the Diviner's up next. So first, actually, Summon is up. We can go here and attack Bone. Alright, heal any ally is actually good. Cool. There. This attack's normally for 2, plus 1 is 3. It has 2 shields, so it takes 1. Okay. Then we're going to... So I should definitely deck stack first, because the ad affects my own flips. Alright, so I'm going to use Hand of Destiny, consuming light, and I'm going to do all the deck stacking again, not the most important one. Yeah, all these on bottom. Order doesn't matter because deck's getting reshuffled. And these 2 on top. So we ended up, we could have not lost a card, but I still think it's fine too. I mean, it's going to be alright down the road regardless. And we ended up taking damage. I don't mind losing a card here because it lets me short rest sooner and get back to my better attacks. Yeah, curse first for sure. Okay. Oops, whatever. Alright, let's take a look at the Cragheart. We have it. We have Brutal Momentum still. Alright, it's time to slam that Floozy into the wall. So, like this, Muddling Her actually does work, so why not? This and you on bottom. It's good for us. So we're only making an attack 2 here. Seal Your Fate. We're gonna move to like, I guess maybe coin. No, we want to be further into the room. We're gonna move to here so we can stun everything in the room next turn. Yeah, we're gonna move to here and we're gonna attack her. She does have poison. There's actually 3, so a crit does actually do 6. But creating Dark gives the Mindthief +2 attack next turn with Dark Frenzy top. Used our potion. What is better? I mean, this is also 3. I guess this is always a crit, whereas the Dark now is a bit better. I don't care about the curse. I do want the curse for my summon attacks next turn, actually. I guess I'd like my summon. I don't want my summon to get the regen. That's kind of useless. Not so useless, but I'd rather it be like this then, actually. No, I'd rather my summon draw this, actually, because I don't care about the damage my summon deals. I'd rather have the 3s for myself. So I'd like to go like this. I'd like all these cards. I'm going to take this for myself this turn. Again, it's going to give me 1 less damage now, but 2 more damage for the Mindthief next turn, which is good. Or 2 more attack. 1 less damage now, 2 more attack next turn. And then I'm going to have my summon draw this, because I don't care about the summon having regen, but I want the summon to draw the curse. We'll have already drawn these curses on the top, so it just adds another curse into the deck. And I mean, the summon probably dies before then. Yeah, actually, the summon's going to die before then. So, or is it? No, it's not. Let's see. So this will actually attack all 3 things. As misses. So we actually don't know what it's flipping when it hits the summon. because it's going to hit Mindthief Cragheart first and then summon last. That's a little bit annoying. Guess should have stacked their deck a little bit differently accordingly. It's just way too many things to think about here. This is Themer's concern with this sort of deck stacking, is that it adds a ton of extra time if you really, like, if you play it properly. Because if my summon is alive, I want this plus into this next turn, because I don't care about the damage the summon deals to the stupid skeleton, and I'd rather have like +3/+3 for hitting the boss. But if my summon dies, I'd rather have the +3 sooner. I guess the best compromise is just to do this. Put this on bottom. Wait, if my summon attacks, I still get a +3 afterwards. I don't think I'm probably going to have 2 more attacks in the game anyway. And the curse there is just free in case, again, the summon actually attacks. Alright. So we've stacked all the decks. Again, stacking Mindthief deck does nothing because we reshuffle. And then we do move 3, attack 2. Again, we're going to move to here because we want to be in the center of the room just on everything. We attack the boss. Flip this. Our attack was a 2, +2 there, +1 from the poison. We get 5 damage on the boss. Very dark. 28. Alright. So the bones go. So the elite bones, I guess I should have stunned the bones because it hits 3 targets, whereas this, we could have just had a curse for its 1, although we couldn't guarantee the curse because all the bones hit. Alright. So none of these things are actually going to move, right? They can never hit their focus plus anything else, except for the ones already in position. Yeah. Yep. So it's going to be, this one attacks first, Mindthief Cragheart summon. Mindthief Cragheart summon. -1 is still killing the summon. Alright. Summon didn't do much. Okay. So then it's done. This one on the Cragheart, this one on Mindthief, this one on Cragheart. Cragheart. 5 damage, I guess we'll take Mindthief. So take it. So it's good that we won't. Well, no, because we would heal more. Cragheart, 1 damage. We'll take. Okay, that was all the bones. We had the elite hit the 3 things, and then we had the 3 regulars go. And then this was just summoned, so it doesn't act this round. The other one is stunned. Stun. No, it's probably still correct to stun this, I guess. Alright. Round. A rest here. I really want to keep Perverse Edge and Empathetic Assault. The most important things. Alright. Back loop, not an issue at all. So few cards. Even though stunning something is really valuable, I want to use Empathetic Assault here because I'm going for a huge attack. I need to have advantage. Use my odds. Doing something better here. I'm gonna hit with Dark Frenzy top. And after that, yeah, we're gonna get to a good top with Frigid Apparition and Perverse Edge to stun. Okay. We're doing a huge slam, and I guess this is 1 direct damage on the bottom. Us, we're stunning everything in the room. Buy our ally some time. Our top, healing ourselves and blessing ourselves. We actually don't want those things. Usual invisible doesn't really change much. I'll just play this top for initiative. Okay. There's nothing. Boss goes first, but all the rest of things go after her. That's fine. The boss is special 2, summons Living Corpse, but the boss can't summon, has no empty spaces, and will attack the Mindthief again at a +2. Yep, so an attack 7 on the Mindthief. 8. Yeah, I don't want to lose cards here because I want all the cards in my, like, I want my next turn, so I think I'm just gonna take this. All the other enemies will be stunned, so I can take 8 here and go down to 1. I would have ended up losing either way. I guess I would have had 1 more life if I hadn't lost before, but I still think it was correct. Doesn't Mindthief go first? Mindthief does go first. Good call. Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking about all these people going after the boss, but you're right. The boss should go after. Whatever. I mean, we're not changing anything we do. So I guess we're going to heal 2, so we'll be at 2 higher. So the Mindthief uses the bottom of Empathetic Assault first. Healing for 2. What element do we want to create for next turn? Alright, let's see. So, deck stacking doesn't matter so much anymore. I guess ice just gives me +2 attack next turn as well. We already have the earth for here anyway, and it'll create another earth. Yep. We'll create ice with empathetic assault. We still have an ice here though. Let's keep that in mind. So we healed ourselves for 2, and we strengthen ourselves. And then we're gonna use the top of Dark Frenzy, consuming the old ice, consuming the dark. So the Dark Frenzy is a 2, +2 from the ice, +2 from the dark. That's 6, +2 from the mind's weakness. That's 8, +1 from the poison. So we make an attack 9 with advantage on Jexera. Goes. Alright, at least we get a guaranteed hit. 9, 10. Sure. That's good. That's 18. So she would be at 8 if we hadn't missed. Still think we can probably make it. Alright, should we mana potion for another element? Yeah, if we weren't missing that 2 damage, that would be nice as well. I mean, I'm always playing these 2 cards next turn, and so like dark or something like that doesn't matter for us. Could matter for like helping the diviner. I mean, I guess we don't really have any reason not to do it, so let's just go ahead and make it dark. So theoretically, like, there's a possibility someone will use it. I don't think there's anything else mattering here though. So let's go with that. We'll create. I mean, like, I don't think this is ever going to matter for anything else except next turn. I think we basically end this turn one way or another, and one more round. Okay, so the boss goes, so attacks the Mindthief. We've already flipped the +1, so we take 9. Or no, sorry, take 7. Yeah, we were at 9, so we thought we'd be at 2. Wait, hold on. 5 plus. No, we take 8. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8, so we get down to 3. And she doesn't summon. Alright, Cragheart's up next. So we're going to begin by using the bottom of Rumbling Advance. We create a new earth. We do 1 direct damage to everything adjacent to us, which actually includes the diviner. All these other things. I'm really not going to bother with these now, but I will with her. So she takes 1 direct. And then we're attacking with the top of Brutal Momentum as an attack 3. We're consuming the old earth. We just created a new one using our Tremor Blade. This makes us an attack 5. I'm just going to use my heal potion now before I forget, so we're up to 20. Alright, so we have an attack 5 plus 1 from the poison, so we get an attack 6 on Jexera. I can't actually do the pushing to her, though. Oh, no! Oh! Because I can't actually push her through her allies. Oh my god, that's a disaster. If I was like here, I could, because I could at least push her that way, or if the Mindthief wasn't there, but the Mindthief had to stay there, unfortunately. We couldn't jump over the enemies. I think it doesn't work like that. I mean, I see what you mean. But the problem is, in order to... that's why it's really weird, but I understand what you mean about the theoretical pushing, but in order to be able to theoretically not be able to push her because of a wall, I have to be able to push her to here. But the problem is I can't push her to here because she can't stop here, and she can't be moved to here either. So I think it's just like not a legal push to push her into either of these hexes, to then set up the theoretical not being able to push her because of a wall. And these are the only directions I can push her, and again, she can't be pushed legally in any of these directions. From the best of my understanding, unfortunately. Oh, it's so much missed damage, too. Oh my god. That's brutal. I mean, this is my own fault. This is not luck. Alright, anyway, so again, we had 3 plus 2 from the earth is 5, plus 1 from the poison is 6. This, flipping this. So 8. She goes down to 9, and she gets muddled. Well, that's one more condition. Okay, so then the diviner goes. So I'm simply going to use Cure to Deflect bottom, stun turtle enemies within range 3, and then remove all negative conditions on allies within range 2. Anything. So I just stun everything in the room. I'm not going to place all the stuns because they're just all going to skip their turns. Okay, so they all skip their turns. Lost. Around. Alright, so short rest here for sure. We could punch something with our top, but I just don't really care about punching Living Bones. Yeah, this is an attack on bottom, which can actually hit the boss, so yeah, that's better to lose. Alright, so we're gonna play this, and I guess theoretically the deck stack again. Us. Better card to get back? Not really, as it turns out. I mean, this is an Attack 4, attack 6, actually. Yeah, I think this is as good as anything. Alright, let's play these 2 cards. We also have to consider that the Cragheart might have to be the one to run here, but I guess a default attack should probably be good enough, even. No, we should actually short rest, in case we have to lose cards. If we have no cards in our hand, that's so bad. Alright, yeah, let's short rest early here. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Because the Cragheart might be the only one to survive here, actually. The Cragheart is the only one with a reasonable amount of health and cards left. Alright, well anyway, the Mindthief is doing these things. There's actually the possibility we're going to use the top of Reverse Edge here, we'll see. So, I mean, yeah, we have Earth, so this is a big amount of movement. Is it better to have Jump? No, because we have a straight line. We're going to do that for sure. And our best attack at this point, honestly, just Kinetic Assault. It'll also give us better initiative, because we can't actually push here. So she goes, no, the Mindthief goes first. All right, let's try to end it with a Mindthief, shall we? Let's believe. We miss again. So, here we go. Reverse Edge top is an attack 3, add +2 attack and gain 1 experience for each negative condition on the target. So this is 3, plus she has 2 negative conditions on her, Poison and Muddle, which means we get +4, so that puts us up to 7, plus the Mind's Weakness, this puts us up to 9, plus the actual +1 from the Poison, this gives us a total of 10. So we're going to make an attack 10, targeting Jexera using Perverse Edge as a loss. Come on. And we still advantage. All right, we got it. Oh yeah, there was the ice as well. You're right. It actually should have been even higher. Good call. There was nothing else we were using it for, but it doesn't matter. We got the kill anyway. So it actually should have been, again, we were at 7 base plus 2 from Mind's Weakness is 9. I guess the ice didn't really matter. Yeah, it wasn't necessary. Because I think as long as we hit, we were killing. So again, we were at 9 plus 1 from the Poison is 10, right? And she has 9 life, yeah. So even not using the ice didn't matter because we don't actually have a -2 in our deck. We only have -1. So even at a -1 off our 10, we get a 9. But yeah, the ice is good overkill. You're absolutely right. So in the end, with our advantage, we flip to +2. So again, 7, 8, 9, 10 with a Poison. 2 from the ice is 12, plus 2 more, so 14. So we managed overkill of 5, which she deserves. This was actually really tough. Like, we honestly might have been like 1 round from winning or losing. Curative Flux did actually, I mean, all right. So let's be clear. Curative Flux was amazing in this last room, the bottom loss. I have never criticized the bottom loss. Well, we'll talk about this at the end, I guess. But basically, the loss was really, really good here. I've always known that this loss would be really good. The big issue is having to lug this card around all scenario just to have this loss be good in the last room on a 9-card class. I mean, this loss may have saved us the scenario, but at the same time, we were like it took us longer and we did less than we should have getting here because we just had a default move to with 40 initiative as a level 7 card all the way up to here, which is just why this just doesn't work on this card. Like, this loss could be somewhere else and it would be fine, but it's just not fine on the other half of Curative Flux. Anywho, all right. So, but as I was saying, this was actually very close in the last room because I mean we're basically exhausted on the Mindthief and the Diviner. There's really just the Cragheart who's going to survive this. So now we have the bottom of Frigid Apparition. I mean, I guess I will stun something. So I'm going to use the bottom of Frigid Apparition as a move 4. Going 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. I'm going to stun the bones. So I don't have to go through all this because I'm going to show how this shouldn't matter. All right. Boss has been eliminated, so now the Cragheart goes. We're going to consume Earth using Cataclysm to do a move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, honestly, we would grab a coin. All right, make it to there. Coin. Oh, we actually. Hold on. No, because we were here with the move 1. No, actually, never mind. It does work. All right, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we use the move 1 on the top of Kinetic Assault to actually make it here. So we're even further, and we still get a coin. Kinetic Assault being useful in the end. All right, so then the bones go, and I don't really need to go through all of this, I think. Well, all right, so this is stun. This does nothing. Yeah, I don't need to go through all of this. None of the things in this room can reach the Cragheart, so the Cragheart can never exhaust. So we will always successfully complete this. The elite bones is stunned, and the other ones have only 2 movement. And with 2 movement, obviously they can't make it to there. And the corpses similarly only have 2 movement, and again with 2 movement they can't make it to there. So I don't need to take the time flipping all these things. I think both of them probably end up exhausting, or maybe almost exhausting. Yeah, all right. Let's at least play it out. I guess this is the very end of our campaign, so why not? All right, so the bones go. Elite was stunned, not dealing with the. All right, it's actually one. So let's see. 3 go to there. 5 actually can't even hit blocking because them getting -2 movement is good for us here. This one also can't reach, so it doesn't matter. So I don't get that out. So then actually it would just be 3 which attacks the diviner, and then the elite there which attacks the. So they wouldn't have exhausted in the end. So the attack on the diviner. Big damage, and then the diviner would go, and I guess we could even use the bottom of Sealer Fate, our stun powder, to just stun the elite. Okay, yeah, so we had a little bit of a margin anyway. I think we probably had like 1 more round. Could have survived. So we had a bit of a margin, but this was actually one of the closest scenarios in a while. I mean, it's a boss fight, and we're also kind of playing a suboptimal diviner. All right, I'm going to refill my glass one last time. We'll talk about all the diviner stuff. I'll go over like cards that I played with, the other cards. I'll kind of sort of a video version of a guide of my conclusion for the class. And then I obviously will write a real guide as well. Anyway, we'll be right back. All right, let's clear all this stuff out. So just as, a last reminder, because we're going to be stopping here. Like I said, there's just one scenario today. I will stream one more time next Wednesday at the usual time. It'll be my last stream for probably around a month, at least. Maybe more, it's tough to say, but yeah. So again, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Appreciate it. Anyway, we're still going to go over some stuff quickly, but I just want to get that out of the way. All right, and I'll mention it again one last time before I sign off. So let's look at the cards we brought here. So Deep Contemplation does at least affect bosses, which makes it a little bit better. Boss scenarios aren't that many. And yeah, overall this sort of effect was just really underwhelming. The other level 8 card, Anguish and Salvation, isn't amazing, but I did prefer it. The heal 5 anyone on bottom is so much better than a heal 3 self. Most of these extra effects on top are just really underwhelming for the diviner. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose quickly. Alright, back. Are just really underwhelming and bottom inconsistent and situational. Alright, so what are the other things we brought instead? This, and I'll talk about all the cards at different levels as well, but I'll just first. Yeah, so Enfeebling Hex, again, I've done the math on this top, but it's not impressive. Obviously the combos with the level 5 card, but the longevity for that on the 9 card class is pretty insane. The bottom here, obviously, yes, it's like the best enhancement in the game, but if you want to do that, sure, that would be a reason to take this card. I wouldn't personally suggest that because it's just gonna, one single card / enhancement is gonna warp the game so much for you. Otherwise, I don't know. I wasn't using like the Rift cards very much when I had this card, so maybe I should have them. But again, I just don't think I want them because both level 5 cards are so good, and one of them works well with Rifts. The other one is just like a card I don't think you ever want to pass up on this class. So yeah, I can't imagine wanting to ever play this. And the Muddle Turtle enemy, it's just not that good. It's not that many enemies should hit, and yeah, it can work with your curses. No. Level 5, both level 5 cards seem better. Like Obviously, with a bunch of curses, this is better than what Dimensional Divide does on bottom, or what even Careful Attunement does on bottom. But these have like good initiatives, which is welcome for you, and also have movement attached, whereas this just doesn't. It just makes it so much worse than any of those, all those three. I mean, the other level 5 card as well. Spirit of Flux, like I said, this top is oof. This is not the action you're looking for to play every rest cycle. This card just did almost nothing all scenario until the very end. Loss is very, very good at the very end, but this just like this basically makes this a much worse version of a level 1 card for the Cthulhu. Is basically how I felt about this card, because that card has another good spammable half and like is level 1. So yeah, not even close on this card, especially compared to Ethereal Vortex, which is an excellent card. Both the top and bottom. The top is consistently pretty useful, and the bottom, obviously, on some scenarios, is just amazing. It's also really fun. This card. Hand of Destiny is very good. Not really surprisingly. I kind of expected that both level 9 cards would be good, and they are both very good. Hand of Destiny is very good. It was a little bit frustrating in this scenario. We somehow managed to play this almost every time the Mindthief was reshuffling. Whatever was going to happen. But yeah, I mean, this effect is so good. The problem is that Planner Fisher is also so good, and I think a little bit better. But like I said, I think there can be some party compositions where you'd rather have this. All right, let's go through and I think the build that we did before ends up being the correct build, even after playing with the other cards now. Let's go through and show all the choices quickly. And how we feel about that choice. And 3. Okay, so 2, again, I don't think this choice is even close. Revitalizing Fount is amazing. I've even used it now outside of playing with a lot of rifts, and I still was happy with it. The initiative is good, the bottom is useful. Top, like, still basically never used, but it doesn't matter, because one half of this card is just so good, especially with a card you always have, because it's a level 1 card, so pretty obvious. We didn't end up using it a lot for the second half of the scenario, but it's just because we were facing, like, summoning enemies, / we got a good head start in the second room. We didn't really need it much. Gift of the Void is certainly not a bad card. Strengthen is too easy to get with enhancements, and the rest of this card is just but not especially not compared to Fount, which is again so good and gives good. Both level 3 cards I think are quite good. I would probably I think this is the only one where I would really think that you could take either at level 3. I think I'm always taking the other one at level 4 certainly, so it doesn't matter too much. Hold on one second. Funny how that happens a bit at level 3 and 5 for the Diviner. Anyway, if I have a lot of... So if I'm... if this is my level 3 choice, but I'm level 7 or level 8, and I have a lot of perks, or if I have a large lineage. So basically, if I'm looking at I would say 11 or 12 plus perks, I would take Call to Nether first. If I'm at a lower amount of perks, I would say 10 or under 10 certainly, I think I would take Envision first. Basically, if I'm level 3, because I guess if I'm higher level, I'm taking both these, because I'm taking the other one at 4. So it really just comes down to, if I'm level 3 and I don't have a huge lineage, I would take Envision first. Otherwise, if you're 4 or higher, you're getting both of these, and / if you're 4 or higher, you're going to have enough perks. Well, or a higher level, basically. All the other was good. The bottom was rarely useful, kind of as expected, but the top is quite good. And the bottom of Envision is similarly not really interesting, but the top is quite good. Level 4, yeah. Cleansing Rite, like I said. Highly situational top paired with a lost bottom. It's like Spirit of Flux all over again. level 7, level 4, same problem for these cards, which are like kind of the worst card in level up on the Diviner, sort of. Like, even this isn't bad. Like, I actually feel like the worst cards are really like Curative Flux and Cleansing Rite, basically, because they don't really have anything going for them except for a loss that's you can't really use early on a 9-card class, and you have better losses if you want. Like, Seal Their Fate, if you were going to use a loss early, this would be hit, not like this or this, you know? So, anyway. Burning the Path theoretically has 2 halves, and neither of them are terrible. It also provides a kind of welcome late initiative, but top ended up just not being even as good as I thought it would be kind of average and situationally useful. There were a couple scenarios where, well, there was like one scenario where I used it a couple times, maybe. And the scenario before this one, I wished I'd had it, but for the most part, I didn't use it much, and don't think it's very good. And then the bottom, yeah, this sort of effect, I don't know. It's just way too hard to use. Not consistent. Like, it's only good against some enemies, and then they have to get on shuffles, and you have to be using it at the right time, and like you have to see things that actually matter. Overall, I gave this effect a lot of chance with on preordained, and I used it a bit with level 8 one, and overall, occasionally it was good. Most of the time, it was just dead. All right. On the other hand, level 5. So anyway, level 4, easy. Like, take the other level 3 card. Both of these are good. Level 5, both cards are good. Dimensional Divide has 2 good halves. Seal Their Fate has 1 really good half. I think at level 5, I would usually take Dimensional Divide. The initiative is nice. The move 4 frees you up to cut one of your level 1 move 4s, which I think is just a bit better. So I do think I prefer having Dimensional Divide first, where Seal Their Fate is a bit more luxury, but Seal Their Fate is still very good, especially eventually get the enhancement. But yeah, I mean, both halves of this are just like I use both halves of this a lot. Indicative of a good card, and 23 initiative, also quite welcome on this class. Seal Their Fate, I used the bottom every rest cycle, which was also good. So like that's fine. It's basically like the Mindthief level 6 again of Dark Frenzy versus Corrupting Embrace. I guess these days I recommend Dark Frenzy, but I think Dark Frenzy's bottom is a little bit better than Seal Their Fate. Dark Frenzy's bottom is pretty insane. 1 more attack and creating elemental. This gives curse, but still. And good initiative. Initiative is also kind of a significant tiebreaker here, because this class does struggle with initiative. Yeah, level 6. Enfeebling Hex, I mean, not really where you want to be. I mean, I understand, yeah, the loss with the loss of Seal Their Fate, but again, not realistic on a 9-card class. This class at 11 cards, yeah, sure, I think you'd play this combo of losses a lot, but not on 9 cards. And the bottom is just really underwhelming. I mean, I only played 1 scenario with it, but I have difficulty imagining wanting to use it this much. Like, I understand the idea of like the muddle, but you get the a muddle that actually is an attack at level 9, which is so much better. And also, like, I don't know, you don't need to muddle that much. You can also stack their decks, and like you'll draw the curses eventually. I don't know. Muddle, like the combination of muddle and curse is good when it's attached to attacking. Like the other class, which does similar stuff, like also attacks a lot or has like a permanent effect that does this. Having to play an action when you have lots of good bottom actions anyway, just to get the muddle that doesn't actually attack, I don't think this is worth. Careful Attunement, on the other hand, I mean, whatever. I use the top loss, but just the end of the scenario, kind of same situation. Oops. I think bottom Careful Attunement is actually quite decent. I don't think it's as good as either of these bottoms. Although I think it's pretty close. Honestly, 17 initiative, move 3 with the nice upside is pretty good for this class, to be honest. So I think this is pretty close to both of these cards, but again, this has 1 more movement of a better sort of movement, unless you have Boots of Striding, in which case this maybe can be considered better sometimes, but 1 more movement, better upside, I would say, on average. Obviously not considering like Forgotten Circles or improved modifier decks or something like that for monsters in the future, but in general, I think Shield 1 is a little bit better than this effect. And yeah, just better sort of movement. And this also has a top. And then this is just like such a valuable bottom, which I think it is a bit better. Although maybe it's a little bit closer just because that 17 initiative is really significant. Maybe it's a bit closer with these two as well. I still think both of these are just a little bit better than Careful Attunement. Careful Attunement bottom is really fine, honestly. Yeah. Level 7 isn't even remotely close. Like I said, Curative Flux just suffers from a highly situational top with a loss you want to play in the last room of a scenario. So I would never even be close to taking this card over Ethereal Vortex, which is honestly really good. Easily always 2 attacks, many times 3, and sometimes even 4. And like that's good. Like it's baseline, it's like worst case being attack to target to pierce to curse, which also repositions your rift, sometimes usefully, sometimes not. I don't know. Is already quite fine, right? And a lot of times it's better than that. Like easily, I would say my average case was probably hitting 3 targets with this, even if the low end is 2 and the high end is probably like 4. Hitting 3 targets on this with with this on average is obviously great, especially with your modifier deck. And even hitting 2 targets because of how good your modifier deck is honestly quite reasonable. And then the bottom, like I said, in some scenarios, this bottom is borderline broken. It's amazing. So yeah, card overall, 2 really good halves. Consistently useful top with highly situational but very powerful bottom. It's like how you want to make a card, right? So easy choice at level 7. Level 8, neither are super exciting, but I mean, Deep Contemplation bottom has some scenarios where it can be good, especially boss scenarios, but overall, it just still ended up being difficult to use. Anguish and Salvation, on the other hand, gives not a great initiative, but a manageable initiative for this class, while also having 2 halves. The top half is more difficult to use, again, because of our initiative issues than I would have expected. Like, the top half is a very high power level, but is like let down in the context a bit of this class by the fact that we don't have the initiatives to easily get this before enemies go. But honestly, I was happy with the bottom. Basically, like one of the best healing cards, maybe the best non-loss healing card in the game. Not really sure. Can't say off the top of my head, but a very good one. Definitely a very good non-loss healing card. So yeah, obviously, Anguish and Salvation. I mean, I guess the other consideration is whether at 8 you should maybe just take Careful Attunement, have a better initiative. I don't know, though. Being a support that has at least 1 heal card is nice, because you won't have any other heals by then. And everyone appreciates, like, having 1 heal, you know? And a heal 5 is nice. Like, that's a lot of healing. But I think this is probably still better than Careful Attunement. But I think an argument certainly could be made for Careful Attunement. And then at level 9, yeah, I mean, alright. Hand of Destiny and Planar Fissure are both really good. Like, really, really good. These are, like, level 9 cards you like to see. But Planar Fissure was just, like I said, this was better than I thought it would be. This was better than I thought it would be. And I already thought this would be better than this. And this was even better than, like, there was a greater difference between where I thought this would be and how good it actually was than with this. And this I already thought would be better. So yeah, I mean, Planar Fissure is just a crazy card. So powerful. And works so well. Again, already with Ethereal Vortex. And kind of with Void Snare and your other stuff. That matters less, but it's more just like this with this. So yeah. And I guess, like, theoretically, that muddle then works with all the curses you apply, but I mean, that's not the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me is that this does, like, on average, you're easily getting 3 targets basically every time you use this, and many times more. And with 3 targets, again, because an attack 3 is on average over 5 damage for this class, that's still 15 damage non-loss per rest cycle, while also applying conditions, muddle, I mean, like the muddles, but also other conditions or creating elements, stuff like this. That is so good. So yeah, I mean, that's. And like I said, the Diviner was doing comparable damage. While playing with this card, the Diviner was doing comparable damage to everyone else in the party, pretty much, while also being support, which is just great. Alright, anyway. Saxophone person's back. Just in time, actually, for us to sign off. Okay, so that is all my Diviner stuff. That is it for this campaign. Like I said, I will be back next Wednesday. I'm going to try to do something a little bit special. We'll see. We'll see if we can got to do a test run to make sure it works. And if it works, then we're gonna run it once more, except on stream. Otherwise, I mean, we'll do something no matter what on Wednesday. But yeah, so this was the last stream of this campaign. I hope everyone enjoyed it. For those of you watching the VOD, thank you very much. I guess I'll cut the VOD now. As I say my last goodbyes on stream.